All right. I hope they didn't just kick everyone off. Nope. Dr. McLovin's here. Well, he beat Derek. I'm shocked. Derek had like a record. He was like, I don't know, maybe 12 live streams in a row is the first comment. Oh, good. It's all familiar names that I know, recognize.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
Dogs, you know. You're nice and your audio is crisp too. Everything's good. Your picture's good too. You got like perfect focus right now. Perfect.
I've got the filter on to make myself look 20 years younger. So
I need one. I need that. Can you let me borrow that program?
No, I'm just kidding. Everything I say is a joke, just about. You should know that by now.
I wouldn't say everything. I read some of your posts last night. Those sounded pretty serious, and I think you got a good review. Spoiler free. What's going on, everybody? How are you tonight? Bunch of people. Derek A, there you are. Derek, you almost, man, you just missed it, bro. I was looking for you. I'm like, man, Derek A was like 12 times in a row the first person in the chat. But what's going on, guys? Good evening. How you doing, Prometheus? What's up, my brother? And stuff. Silverstream, Birdman 3127, Loverboy 6. Andrew, what's going on, my man? Rands, Jersey Cycler. You want to pick some up too? Yuka.
Yep, we got Yuka, Frita, Blazin, Birdman, Ellie. Who else? Mm-hmm. Andrew, the Vasic, Punchy Nuts, the Honorable Punchy Nuts.
Punchy Nuts.
We Relax Nation.
Punchy Nuts.
Guys, if this is your first time here, just a heads up. The evening live chats. This is very informal. We might have a drink. We encourage you to have a drink. You're at home, relaxing. Have some.
We demand you drink.
We work during the day. We're serious during the day, but we try and have fun at night. So there might be some cursing. There might be some smoking. Lighten up and let's have some fun. But along with that, we're going to talk about some stocks, maybe some SEC. What do you got on tap for tonight?
I mean,
Massalorian.
Where do you want to start? It was a week, a crazy day. I don't even know where to start. You know, I think I only got 2 videos up in the last 10 days. But I've been following everything pretty closely.
I put
there's a ton of things we talk about. What do you want to start?
In my thumbnail for tonight, I said we were going to talk about Cosmos because I know, at least over on my channel, we've been following. Look, I want to be straight with everybody. I never made a video when this whole thing started saying I'm going to get into Cosmos or let's all buy Cosmos. I watch all these momentum plays and we talk about them in the Discord, but I don't make videos pumping momentum plays like these little penny stocks. But I did get involved with Cosmos when I saw, you know how I am, Mass. When people start putting out ridiculous clickbait like 2,000% short interest, I got to step in because that was just ridiculous. So that's where I jumped into the Cosmos thing.
Okay.
And just in case anyone's just checking in, like, why is this guy talking about Cosmos? We never talked about Cosmos. We watched it. We love playing momentum plays on my channel and in our Discord. But I didn't make my first video till I had to break the bad news that the short interest was not 2,000%. And then we got Frank from Investor Relations over at Cosmos End to talk about the free float was actually, much higher than people thought. We got all that straight, and it's still a momentum play. That's all well and good. DD often doesn't matter when retail is running something up with momentum, right?
That's
why is it important? Because when people are telling you on other channels it's going to $100 or $1,000 because of 2,000% short interest, I just don't want to see people bag hold something that's only going to run up to $1 or $2 or $5, whatever, because of lies or mistakes, honest mistakes, maybe on other channels.
Crazy cost to borrow, anything, right? Can be any one,
whatever it is, whatever
they want to nitpick, right?
Yeah,
whatever stat they want to pull to make their case.
So I did end up after Cosmos ran up and then came back down, I did end up taking a position in it. I think I got in just before this last run up today I had a little bit at 32 cents and some at 28 cents. Waiting on some good news, waiting on the results of this NASDAQ hearing they were going to have on the 15th about the 10-cent delisting warning, because they were under 10 cents and they had two delisting notices, one for being under $1 and then another one came in for being under 10 cents.
Okay.
So, and then we were all kind of expecting, I think everybody here that was in this play was expecting, based on what Cosmos was telling us, that they really didn't want to do a reverse split. They wanted to get over $1 organically. They had till January 23rd to make that happen. And we just needed to get this 10-cent hearing out of the way on the 15th. And then all of a sudden, as we're watching it in after hours yesterday, it starts plummeting. Somebody knew something. And then this rumor comes out on NASDAQtrader.com, the only fucking site to list it. No press release, no 8K.
I know.
This one website says one for 25 reverse split going in effect in the morning. I'm like, you can't do that.
Kidding me? No.
You can't just like, you got, even on the proxy vote on December 2nd, it clearly said, we will notify investors of the ratio before the effective date. Nothing of that happened. And I was pretty pissed. I was hot last night watching it fall in after hours, no formal communication. They just went dark, right? That's not cool.
They pulled Disney. They like Chapek in the middle of the night. They sent him packing, right? And Iger was there the next morning. They did it on the cover of darkness. I mean, literally, they're doing it in the dark at 3 a.m. when the market's not even operating, and everyone's up and start day trading at 8:30. It's fucking outlandish that they let him get away with this stuff.
AMC Machine,
but if
thank
you
you.
made money.
AMC Machine, I just want to address this comment. When we get done talking about Cosmos, we'll talk about CEI and MMAT, because I know I know you guys got questions on that too. So last night, once a couple of brokers, still in after hours last night, once a couple of brokers started, people were calling their brokers saying, is this real? And some of the brokers started saying, yeah, we just got instructions that it's going to split in the morning. That's really not enough notice for all these brokers to get the programming done and everything. But some of them got the instructions, and
you were able to trade, right?
Just, my general experience, not every single time, but generally when a reverse split is announced, stocks go down 20% ish or more sometimes. So I just said, I don't like what's going on right now. I don't like that there was no communication. This feels like something weird is happening. And I sold mine at, I think I lost 4 pennies when I got out yesterday evening in aftermarket. 4 pennies per share.
William, how 500 on COSM? What happened, bro? What happened?
So what happened, we didn't find out till midday this morning. They finally put out the 8K and an explanation. But let me walk you through what happened in the early hours before that, right?
Okay.
Here's how bad the mess was. When we woke up this morning, all of us that were watching it in pre-market, I woke up after the split. I mean, my chart was showing yesterday's price $8, and it was trading at 23 cents. That's like a 99% drop, right?
You can't have those kind of discrepancies.
I was like, how is this even possible?
No one's doing anything about it. That's why they're not going to do anything. They're not getting in trouble.
I turned on Teddy's channel, Teddy Zane, and he was live streaming already in pre-market. And he trades on Robinhood, and he's like, guys, I'm in Robinhood. I've still got all my shares. It's telling me right now, I was trying to sell because it was dropping all the way to 23 cents from $8. but he couldn't
Yep.
see that. Robinhood had not even implemented
Changed
the
over
split.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
he had all his shares as far as he's concerned, and he's watching it plummet to 23 cents, which was happening. And because someone got a couple trades off at 23 cents. And then he saw it come up 30, 35, 40. He's like, oh boy, here we go. I'm in the green, guys.
They're covering.
Like if he was in at 30 cents and it popped up to 35 or whatever, he was able to sell for a profit all of his shares pre-split. And as far as I know, still Robinhood gave him that money. He turned a profit, but on the tape, what all of us were watching on any other platform, he just sold. He sold post split at 35 cents.
Right.
Like he lost 99%. If he was on any other platform.
David says people who sold their shares twice on Robin today will lose all of that money. They'll find out tomorrow. Not tomorrow.
I would bet that Robinhood. I would bet that Robinhood's going to back those trades out. Say, hey, we fucked up. Here's your money. You know, we're taking our money back, and here's your shares back. I would. I mean, there's multiple ways. They're not. Robinhood internally took a 25x loss.
No, they're not going to eat that.
That's probably
they're already hurting right now. Yeah, no way. They're not going to eat that.
But I was, you know, I had not had any coffee. This was early morning, and I was trying to like struggle to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Well, here's the funny thing: we're both watching the same live stream. You know, we're both awake. Remember, I told you I tried to call you. We're both watching Teddy Zane talk about this, and I told you in the comments, why is it going to run it exactly at 8:30 or at 9:30? Because a 25-1 reverse split. So based off that information, we're going to expect this to run to double digits again today, and then it goes up to $23. Right.
Well,
peaked at that's so unnatural.
When I was looking at it at 23 cents, I had about 2 minutes to make up my mind, and I was like, I should just buy some. I sold it yesterday. I'm down a very small amount. I should just buy some. That's like a penny, 1 cent compared to what the price was at close yesterday. You know, if you factor out that 25x split, I could have bought thousands of shares for a penny and just let's see what happens. But it was over quickly, and then it started running up, and then 5-10 minutes later, it's $1, $2, $3. And Teddy was like, oh, they're squeezing the shorts. I'm like, no, they're not squeezing the shorts. The people that sold for a 99% loss, someone's buying those up because that's a fucking deal. It's a fucking deal. I mean, it should have been trading at $5 or $6 if it was equivalent to where it closed yesterday. I just like, well, I'm already out of the play. I'm just going to watch and learn and see what happens in this mess. And then I think by the time it just kept on going up, and by the time I talked to you later in the day, it was at $10, and we were like, we watched it together go to 12, and I had another chance right there. I thought it. I had my Fidelity trade ticket open to buy at $3
now.
At $3, I had my trade ticket open. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. When the market opens here in 15 minutes, this is going to be a mess. But it just kept running. And I think a lot of people saw that same situation where the whole fucking thing was messed up, and it was way underpriced. And I was not thinking clearly. I should have jumped on it. I didn't. Man, if you guys got in at 23 cents and held to $23, or even if you just held overnight and were able to get out at any point. But let's you fucking raked in. Let's talk about once it got back up to $5, $6, $7, $8. Now we're at parity where it was the past day or so. That's like the equivalent of 35, 40 cents, right? Yesterday.
Yes. Yeah.
And guys, this was still not a short squeeze. This was smart traders getting it back to where it should have been pre-split. I honestly don't think there was none of that morning activity was short squeeze. It was all people taking advantage of a mistake.
Correct. That may came back to some of it corrected in the next couple of days, right? Some of it
Well,
may
I
get
don't know.
corrected. The
I
mistakes.
don't
Yeah,
know.
we don't know.
We'll
We don't know.
we'll see. But then that momentum train was running and everyone was watching it. Everybody, all the YouTube channels,
bro.
not just regular meme traders. Every channel you can think of and all the day traders you can think of are seeing on their screeners that this thing is running 20, 40, 50, 70, 100%. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everybody
Yes.
jumped on that play and it just,
Yep.
on
took off.
top of that, as some of you painfully know, certain brokers weren't allowing trading, like TD Ameritrade,
TD
brokers in
Ameritrade.
Canada.
Yep.
So you have even more restricted supply of
Still
no one
pushing.
could sell. No one
Yep.
could sell. So
And we still
there
have
was
that kind of
just
price
buying
action.
pressure. Imagine like your float got cut. You already squeezed the float with the reverse split, and now half of that can't even trade. It was just, it was an avalanche up of buying, and nobody could stop it.
Yep.
Until it ran till the end of the day. So I'm sure at some point, some smart, thinking they were smart, shorts, retail, high-speed traders, whatever, tried to come in there and stop it, and they just kept on getting blown out. But to answer the burning question, was this a short squeeze? I have to say 100%, absolutely not. We didn't even make $1 if you back out the price to what it was yesterday. So anybody that's been calling COSM saying it's going to $100 or $1,000, and you guys know who I'm talking about, who is running a victory lap today. I mean, you got saved by the grace of God and a fuck up in the system, but just because it ran to 23 bucks, it didn't broach a buck from yesterday's price.
Nope.
So people made a fucking ton of money though if they got in under $1 this morning. That was 25 divided back from yesterday's price. So
correct. Yes.
It literally ran 9,900% if you got in at 23 cents this morning. But you saw what happened after hours. It came all the way. What did I tell you?
Like a bag of rocks. Yep.
What did I tell you it was going to close at an hour before the market closed? What did I tell you with the?
You said it will be back. It will be back within itself, right? Didn't you?
I said I said it'd be back at 8:50 by the end of the day.
Yeah.
And we closed it. We closed at 7:50.
In after hours. That's what the final was.
Yeah.
Okay. You were right on.
Because that was not a short squeeze. That was just retail FOMO. And then, the Friday selling came in and people locking their profits to go buy champagne and, buy a couple hookers and some Coke.
I don't even, what was the SI again? Can you tell, what was it again?
Who knows? Because it's 2 weeks delayed, but
I know
around 15, 20, 30% rough.
All right.
Rough
So
numbers.
we were right in that range where you could start talking about territory of being a squeeze. We're right in that ballpark, right? We're right on the borderline.
If it got legs over 21 bucks and kept going, you could have got some really squeezy stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
But we ran out of daylight. The market.
Yep. That was the problem.
Came too close. Yeah.
It ran out of time. Yeah. We have pushed harder in the morning, which is hindsight's 2020 now, but we're sitting there looking at it, watching it on the phone, like, all right, what should we do? This has got to be a joke, right? But no, there's a lot of FOMO and people buying in.
There's a lot of things that were unusual about this. Number one, reverse split dropping the night before with no notice. First of all, that's unusual.
Garbage.
The number of times I can think that happened is I could probably count on one hand.
Right.
Second of all, a reverse split that results in the very next day a stock going up. That is very unusual. It does happen from time to time, but it's unusual.
Very rarely.
And almost all of them, I would bet I could look at 198 of them over the next 30 days are down significantly, like 50%. So if I had to game out what's going to happen to Cosmos in the next month, it's going to trend down from $8. But what happens
look
in the next few days?
GTI's chart.
GTI,
we'll get some back and forth.
GTI didn't do a reverse split. I'm talking like a AVCT or a Sundial, ones that did a reverse split. They bounce
Okay.
around a little bit and then they just fade. They fade
That's
back
it.
to pennies again.
Yep. Slowly but
That's
surely.
why
Retail sells out.
I hate reverse splits, honestly do.
I wasn't expecting.
But what's going to happen on
that, though. I
Monday?
mean,
That's still anybody's guess. These things can bounce around for a week. So I can't tell you what's going to happen on Monday. There'll still be people waking up excited on Monday, and all of you that couldn't trade today are going to probably be able to trade it on Monday. I see you asking in the comments, why couldn't you trade today? I don't know. I asked Frank to come on tonight to see if he had any insight that he could shed on this, and I don't see it. I didn't get a message back from him. But I would say the brokers were telling people that they did not receive their allocation, and because of the volatility, they didn't want to take any trades. You know what you would have had, Massalorian? You would have had 50 million FTDs show up. Just same thing that happened with Ape when it got released, and not everybody got their distribution, but they were allowing trading.
And we had a couple of days, with FTDs, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
2 days from now, you'd have 50 or 100 million FTDs, and it would take a few days to sort that out. So a lot of brokers just said, no, we're not going to trade it, because I don't know. I mean, normally when a reverse split or a split happens, this sort of brokers saying something like that is not normal. Everything just usually goes pretty smooth. But
everything
generally
we just saw went completely backwards, almost.
Everything, yeah, usually they have days of notice or weeks of notice that it's coming. So I think a lot of people just weren't prepared.
When was the first time you saw the article post? Do you remember?
Midday this morning. Midday this morning. And so what they said, I wanted Frank to be able to speak to it, but I'll summarize what the 8K press release said. It said we went to the NASDAQ hearing for the 10-cent issue, and they, even though we technically had till January 23rd to get over $1, they were really pressing us in that meeting to do the reverse split right away. And so we had to do it. That's what they said. All right.
Their hand was forced, basically.
Yeah. You can believe them or not. I'm not making any judgment on that. I wasn't in the room. I don't know. That's what they released. And that's a SEC filing, so I'm assuming it's true.
Do you know how many calls it got on the way up today? You have any idea?
I remember seeing a couple. I don't know if I caught all of them.
I was going to say maybe 3 or 4 somewhere. Guys, anyone who made money today, congrats. I am all about you guys making money, all of us making money, however you guys got to do it. I guess I wasn't aware of exactly how much we're kind of wrong about today, just in general. Just everything that would normally happen. I'm glad I didn't speak on it too much. I just went to a couple people's chats this morning and said, hey, I'm glad I didn't influence anyone to buy or sell either way. If you bought and made money, congrats. That's awesome. I'm really happy for anyone who fucking raked in the dough today. What's going to happen Monday? It's tough to say, right? Is Robinhood going to start purging people's accounts and taking that money back? My mic is cracking. God damn it. Piece of shit.
I see someone in the chat saying that's false. Someone in the chat saying that's false. They never had till January 23rd. I mean, I read the NASDAQ $1 delisting notice. I saw that date with my own eyes, but if you can pull up the notice from NASDAQ for the $1 delisting, and if I'm wrong, just double check me right now. I've only looked at it half a dozen times in the last 2 months, but I could be wrong. I could be.
I would take your word.
They had two delisting notices. They had one for $1, and then they got another one a few days later for being under 10 cents.
Yep, right here. Hang on.
What's up, Grandpa Barney? Grandpa says I was yapping online at 2 a.m. It was at 600%, not knowing what to do.
Unbelievable.
2 p.m., not 2.
I was going to say 2 a.m. I don't think the announcement had been out yet, right? What time did that come out? No, it was at 2.
What time did what come out?
That press statement released from COSM.
Mid-morning. I forget what time.
Okay. Let's see. I was holding slides. Looking for a date here, right?
Jason said Robinhood already took his money back from selling.
Wow. Jason Gore just said that?
Yeah.
Oh, they already went in and took your money, huh? Yeah. So what? So I mean, what do you have as a retail trader at that point for an argument to be made? I mean,
I mean, I'm sure in terms and conditions that brokers have things like if a mistake is made, we can reverse a trade. Crypto Bull says staff determination delisting made January 23rd day obsolete. I mean, that's what they said today, right? When they went to the meeting for the 10-cent hearing, they said, you need to do the reverse split today or tomorrow. You need to implement it tomorrow. So, well, I've read
23rd, 2023.
Yeah, I mean, I've read the document half a dozen times. I've talked to Cosmos about it. Everyone was going under the assumption that they had till January 23rd to get over $1, but we knew that there was a December 15th hearing about the 10-cent issue. And all of a sudden, it all got pushed into one thing yesterday afternoon, and the board voted reverse split. NASDAQ says we got to do it, push it in tomorrow. So that's it. That's how it happened quick. I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy that they didn't put out some sort of press release last night. They should have. Like, we should not have been left in limbo like that.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. You're right. I'm looking right here. This is the press for November 17, 2023. This has it right here in the under the first subtitle.
All right.
Company had until January 23rd. Yeah.
All right.
I think you're. Yeah. I think we're good.
I mean, sometimes I do get stuff wrong, but I try not to speak things if I don't know them.
I'm definitely not pushing for perfection anymore. That's for damn sure. Markets humble me immensely.
Do you guys have any other questions on Cosmos? Like, I think those of you that couldn't trade, unfortunately, you're stuck until Monday. I'm sure they'll have it fixed by Monday. I wanted to say one other thing. I in my heart, based on watching hundreds or thousands of splits and reverse splits, can in my confidence level, my opinion, this had nothing to do with the fact that it was a name change or a QSIP change or a reverse split. Those happen every fucking week in the market. You don't see shit like this. Every time there's a split or a reverse split, the QSIP changes. You don't see squeezes and shorts getting run out of plays. That is more, I hate to say this, but clickbait type shit, rumors that I hear every week on every play that never pan out because it's just not correct. This was a fuck up in the way that it was implemented, and people took advantage of the fact that half of you guys couldn't trade, and that the price unfairly got beat down, and then that momentum train was just unstoppable. That is what happened today, I think. And you can agree or not agree, but you're here to hear my opinions, and that is my opinion.
I guess my mic is cracking like a mofo. I'm on the wrong page, right? Like a homo. All right, hold on. Sharing the wrong damn page. I was just seeing. I want to see what time this thing about the 25-to-1 split came on.
One other warning, just because we talk about the good and the bad, right? I've been saying in the Discord that I was buying the past few days, picking up a little bit of Cosmos, not anywhere near what someone like Teddy Zane gets, because I just don't gamble that much on these little speculative momentum plays. I try to make a little extra pocket change, but I was buying in that 30-cent range for hoping there was some good news and we'd get a run up to $1 or so. I think in the Discord I said I could see it going to $1, and we actually did get really close to that today. $25 would have been $1 yesterday. But now, look, what I want you guys to understand, next week, whatever you're thinking, I want you to keep this in the back of your mind. Many of you know this playbook already. after a reverse split, the float just decreased 25x, right?
Yes.
But the outstanding and authorized shares did not decrease. The authorized shares that the company has at their disposal did not decrease. What does that mean? And I heard kudos to Kevin, not Kevin Meet Kevin, but the other Kevin, for also calling this out. I said it this morning on Teddy's chat when I was hanging out in there. What happens very often after this sort of thing on a company like this is on Monday or Tuesday, they will announce a dilution to raise cash because this company is desperate for cash. I know enough
Yep.
from looking at their financial
They
statements.
all are.
I know enough from looking at their financial statements. They need cash and they're going to have trouble raising cash. So what would you do on a price run up? You'd immediately drop a dilution because now you've got 25x more shares miraculously available to you. They're already authorized. You don't need any approval. You just reissue them at $8 or $7 or whatever the going price is. So I want you guys to keep that in the back of your mind that is now a risk going forward if you're planning to hold onto this play. Not saying it's going to happen. It's a very real risk. And
So
dilution will also tend to drive the price down if they drop that news.
Yeah. 100%. That's going to happen without a doubt. Lupe, thank you very much, man. And Grandpa Barney, thank you for the donations. Red Star 7311. Lupe said, "What's up, Mass? Merry Christmas." Thank you, Lupe. And Grandpa said, "I was yapping online." Oh, you read that too. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you both guys very much. Red Star said, "Is it still sounding cracked?" When I did try to, it took maybe like a quarter. Hopefully that sounding a little better now and not getting all crackly. Bliss, what's going on, girl? Carl J. Kenny, say hey to some people in the chat. Jason Gore, Gus Chenoweth, Lupe, how you doing tonight? Common Sense Investor, what's going on, man? CSI is cranking out material. Lots of videos and watching a lot of stuff, CSI. He says simple and smart at the same time. Yeah, no options for COSM, right, Juicy? Robert, good evening. Crypto. Andrew, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think there were options for
No.
Cosmos.
I think I'm saying, I'm like, are we factoring that in when we're talking about a final number that's going to land on at the end of the day? I'm like, are we talking including everything? Like, well, we're not even talking about options because there are none.
So we can. Do you guys have any other burning questions about Cosmos? Because I want to crank through some of the other ones that I see people asking about real quick. MMAT, CEI. I'm sure there's questions about AMC, GameStop, Highcroft, whatever y'all want to talk about. But someone already super chatted a question on MMAT, so I want to get to that also.
I saw CEI too in the chat. Yeah, guys, I'm trying to pull up a bunch of chats, but it's tough sometimes, and this thing is super slow. I'm hoping my mic sounds better. I'm hoping that gain worked, and I was getting the gain too high, and it was just sucking the life out of it. Common Sense
Robert
says, "Good."
Robert was asking, what kind of cigar am I smoking? This is a Macanudo, Robert. I have not tried a towback. I'll keep an eye out for that one next time I'm shopping.
The hell's a towback? That's a type of cigar. Towback.
I haven't heard of it, but I would not. I have my like 5 or 6 brands that I like to buy, and
yep.
Just like I'm just starting to work my way back into trying different brands of Irish whiskey, because you don't know everything. I need to get out of my comfort zone on cigars. There's like literally thousands of different ones.
Yeah, there are a lot of cigars out there. Yeah, big time. I mean, humidors. You can go into now like a corner store, like a bodega, and they might have 100 different cigars you can get out of a humidor now. Like because they have them so portable and they can make them so inexpensive. Almost in every store.
Chaz asking one more time. Do I think that the run up today was shorts covering? I don't think it was shorts covering. I think
not if it was 18%, 20%. No. not gonna see that kind of. It wouldn't have moved that hard.
I mean, it didn't even get over $1 from yesterday's price. I don't think that's not shorts covering. If it would look, the brackets that you guys were being told that it was going to $100, $1,000, that would need to go to 2,500 to 25,000 if you were going to get this massive short squeeze. I've been telling my Discord I could see this thing going to $1. That's why I'm buying it at 30 cents. We did not even hit $1 today. We got to 23 bucks. 23 is like slightly less than $1 in yesterday's price. And I said it would do that based on FOMO. And that's about where we ended up today. So you'd have to go way above that to convince me that there were hundreds of millions of shorts being covered. This was just a FOMO run, just like most of them are.
Like, oh, Jesus. I'm getting all kinds
Nothing
of
wrong with that.
recommendations here.
Nothing wrong with those, right? I was in it for the FOMO run. But unfortunately, they pissed me off last night, not disclosing the reverse split. So I sold last night.
Yeah, that literally they literally came in the middle of the night and dropped that info when half of retail was asleep, and woke up like, what the hell's going on?
And then we woke up and half of retail couldn't trade.
YouTubers are fucking it up. Yeah, I know. And half of retail couldn't trade, and the other half were demolishing exactly what was going on, the narrative of how this was going to play out. Someone said rank is a T90, but retail, I think mostly was just Teddy made 268 million, says Double X Marine. Comes back on YouTube. You are a fucking idiot to YouTube if you made $268 million today. Why would you ever risk ever putting your neck out in line for anything again if you had $268 million in your brokerage account right now?
Teddy sold this morning and then he went to the gym. So I doubt it. I can't see how he would have got in later in the day and made 268 million. But I don't know. I didn't watch his afternoon live stream. So
maybe he might have. It's possible. You never know. I
think someone's pulling your leg, Massalorian.
I believe so. Christian Princess, what's going on, girl? Wendy, Andrew Francesi, Crypto Bill VR, Dr. McLovin, got Trey, Bliss. Yes, the brokers are corrupt as hell. It blows my mind that these types of things. I mean, what happened Tuesday really pissed me off. But then watching this today, and then with TLP getting delisted, like they are just able to pretty much do as they wish. I mean, there's really now push hard now to oversight crypto FTX, and they're going to do nothing about the market. That's what's going to happen. They're gonna make this guy a scapegoat to distract everyone and say, "Oh, we need to fix crypto and regulate it because look what happened with FTX and so many people lost money." While over here they're robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? Oh boy. CSI read that Lou vs. Wall Street's playbook make videos every day, 19 videos. Yeah, I didn't see CSI making that many videos, was he?
Bunch of
Bricks
trying
to balance his work.
Bunch of Bricks says Teddy made 9,000. I could see that. You know, if you buy 1,000 shares and ran it for $10,
9K, I could buy that. Yeah, 268 million. Yeah, you better be a ghost the next day.
If you bought at 23 cents this morning 100 shares, Massalorian, you would have sold at the end of the day.
Please,
23 bucks would have turned into 2,300.
I asked you to stop.
Oh man, I want to slit my wrist when I had my trade window open several times and I didn't pull the trigger.
I tried calling you too a couple times. I'm like, I was like, he either is maybe he's taking a nap right now, but I'm like,
I was watching it all day.
Oh, you were?
Okay. I'm just so conditioned to think that reverse splits are negative that I couldn't get
wrap it around your head.
Yeah, I was like, this has got to stop at some point. This is
insane.
Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay, now this is really ridiculous. Now this is insane. What the fuck?
I'm like, I can't keep calling him.
I was cheering everybody on that made money. I
Yeah.
love to see you
Me
guys
too.
make money. It doesn't matter if
Hell
I
yeah.
make, I
That's
I
all that
always know
matters.
there's going to be another play. It's not a big deal. I'm just
Yep.
happy that some people made money, and I'm sad that some people were locked out by TD Ameritrade and some of the other brokers. That's very, very unfortunate.
We talk about that. We're gonna talk about like either retail needs to find a way to get themselves out of anybody that's still messing around with a brokerage like that should just get out. Get the hell out of there. If they're not going to allow you to fucking trade something like this, just take your business somewhere else to someone who will. So you can get involved and not be left in the dark on this stuff. And listen, this is not, obviously, you guys know I never even say this isn't financial advice. I'm here as a investor that are, holding AMC with you guys and GME, and we're doing a little trading here and there, trying to make a couple bucks. But ultimately, I don't know. It's very, if we had bought this morning, we would be sitting pretty right now. And I just wasn't expecting that. You're right. There was no logical reason for that to continue to run besides straight FOMO, which at that point, the algorithm is beaten until the market closes pretty much, right? Or until at least the regular market closes, we go to after hours, and then we saw a drop, right?
Yep.
So we lost all of that buying pressure, and then it came right down.
I'm going to repeat because I see people asking, would a reverse split on APE run the price up? I'm going to repeat, and you guys can run your own test on this. I would bet if you found 20 random penny stocks under $1 that have done a reverse split in the last 6 months, that
what in the hell?
18 of them went down over the next 30 days after the reverse split. Reverse splits tend to be negative on, bearish on the price of the stock. The stock's already, trailing down into 30, 25, 10 cents. They do a reverse split, and then it just trails right back down to where it was before. And I've seen that over and over. Are there a couple of exceptions? Yes, but generally it's because something fundamentally changed at the company, not because of the reverse split. So I hate that, something like a APE or a Highcroft or a Mullen has to face a reverse split, but sometimes that's what not APE, APE is not facing a reverse split, but sometimes that's what you got to do to stay listed. And a company's going to do whatever they have to survive as long as they can, and hope that they can fix something in the meantime.
That's right.
They're gonna just stretch it out until they can't anymore, and then they get run down to the pink sheets.
And if they need to use retail to do that, so be it. Just shock. Just money. At the end of the day,
what's going on, my brother? In my opinion, this did not move up because of a reverse split, because of a QSIP change, because of a name change. It was because of the fucked up way it was implemented. Half the people couldn't trade it. There was half the selling pressure was gone. And that once the retail buying started under $1 this morning, it just never stopped. The shorts the new shorts that wanted to come in and stop it never had the power to do it. And that's a beautiful thing for people that were long today. So,
I'm still seeing, and I hate to do this in the middle of the conversation, but I was saying that the mic group, this is like one of the top mics you can buy in the industry. I don't understand what's going on. There's no way on God's green earth it should be skipping a beat or anything. It should be missing shit. It should be rolling right along, nice and smooth. If not, this is got to go.
Did you ever do a test where you just did the mic straight to YouTube and didn't use your streaming software? You should try that tomorrow.
So you're saying jump out of Restream?
Jump out now, not now.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow,
just try to run up.
Just go live on. Just hit the go live on YouTube with that mic and see if you have that problem, because you need to identify if it's a software issue first.
You think it's some type of crossover that's getting caught on the process coming over, transferring over? maybe.
I have no idea if it's like your
Right.
processor is getting overloaded or your RAM. Look,
Yeah,
I'm not
could be,
I'm
could
not an
be.
audio expert,
I'm
but
not.
I'm
I'm
in
not either.
troubleshooting. I've done an awful lot of troubleshooting. You got to do the process of elimination. So you need to check your cables. You need to, eliminate software and go as simple as you can. You already know it works fine when you just record a video, right?
Correct. Correct. It's just streaming. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. Try
No, I
try
would. I would.
try not using Restream next
Yeah,
time.
that might be it. That might be it. There's one thing that keeps coming to mind. So where the arm rests on the side of my table here, I can lock it in with the knob to hold it at this position. But as you turn this to get it out of the way, so I can get to the computer and to the keyboard and everything, I go to put this to the side. It started to pinch the wire in between the arm and the brace that's held onto the desk, and I'm if it's just pinch those a little bit and maybe some of them are rubbing up against each other, or there's not a strong enough connection that I've actually damaged the wire underneath the sheathing it's in, right? The black sheathing.
Could be.
Yeah, I gotta troubleshoot it. So someone was asking about where Teddy lives. I think he's in Bama, right? Teddy?
He's in Alabama.
He's down
Yeah.
south. Yeah, he's down south.
Yep.
Yeah, $268 million. He sold at 38 cents. Yeah, gee, Immortal. That's what I thought. And because me and T didn't know, but we were both watching it at the same time this morning. It was like the one person that was, oh, he had what caught my eye? The thumbnail about the change of the ticker. That's what caught my eye. That's why I clicked onto it. I'm like, what is this right here? What's this going on? I didn't hear anything about this. Come to find out. That's the question everyone wants to know, says Gus. Would a reverse split on 8 push the stock up? I mean,
Yeah, that was the question I was just answering.
Yeah.
Reverse splits are generally bearish. You might have a little bit of thrashing for a couple days. Look at Sundial or AVCT. Those are some recent ones. You get a little bit of thrashing for a couple days, not much really upward momentum, and then they just tank. What's up, Hallie?
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, so let's talk about MMAT real quick and MMTLP. What else can you say about MMTLP right now? Everybody knows what happened. That play's done. The crew that is heavily into that play are still having hour-long conference calls every day, trying to move into legal action and see what they can do. I'm listening in on those to the extent that I can, just because if anything ever, any play ever can uncover evidence of illegality or synthetic shorts, I want to know about it. So I'm trying to keep up with them. But I don't have much useful to add about that play. It kind of played out like I thought it would, except I did not anticipate FINRA pulling the plug on December 9th. That I was not expecting. And that you have I understand why you're upset about that. So those guys are going to carry the ball forward, and if something useful comes out of that, we'll let you know as it relates to any other ticker if they uncover anything. But people are wondering, what about MMAT relative to MMTLP? I still have not done a deep dive, a new one on MMAT. I looked at it 6 months ago, a year ago, whenever it had its big run up, and like many of these small plays, it was probably pumped by Zach Morris. I don't know if it was or not, but the financials at that time, when I looked at it 12 months ago, were not that great. I think they might have had a little bit of improvement since then, but still not an investable stock for me. But I have it on my list to watch for momentum plays. And I put up the chart of MMAT and MMTLP, and they ran up. When MMTLP started getting interest, MMAT started moving with it. So I kind of, in my mind, viewed that as a sympathy play. Some people might disagree. That's cool. And now it's coming back down. MMAT is. So I'm just, if MMAT starts moving, I would play it on momentum, but not really a company that I plan on investing in or holding. If I pull up the chart on MMAT, what would I buy it at? You want my momentum trader? I would be waiting for 60 cents at this point, and it's at $1.40. It already ran up, and it's been coming down for 10 days. So that is just me reading the chart. I've spent no recent time doing due diligence. I've looked at no press releases. I have no fucking clue what is going on at this company other than looking at the chart. It's heading down. You got any words on MMAT Mass? Oh, he stepped out for a second. No, he said he has to fix his second monitor.
So I just kicked my light, my neon light that was at my feet here under the desk, and it just up my second monitor, which I had everything kind of like laying on. It's just gone now. I can't get it to light back up again. I tell you, this move has turned my studio into a fucking nightmare. I can't get audio to work. My video is terrible. The lighting can't be fixed no matter what I do. Tonight I look like I'm in neon. Last night I looked like I was in a cave, in Hades. I can't get anything right since I've gotten here with getting the whole production quality up to par.
On the bright side, your mic sounds fantastic now.
Does it? Oh, good.
But
I am extreme right now. It's working good. Good. That's all I care about.
It does sound a little better. Maybe your monitor was at fault. So in Matt, I don't have anything, no words of wisdom to tell you. If I'm just looking at it as a momentum trader, which means I'm only looking at the chart. And I like to buy these things when they bottom out and then just hold them till the next bit of good news or the next time retail shines the light on it, as I like to say. And for me, that price is the recent low. So in my world right now, not having looked at anything else with MMAT, if you guys tell me in the chat, hey, Tony, there's some great product coming out. They're about to 2x their revenue. They're going to get cash flow positive. They're going to turn a profit. Tell me some good news. I'll go in and do a deep dive on it. But I would guess that in the next 4 to 5 weeks, it'll be back down to 60 cents. Unless there's something I, you guys can tell me about. Yeah.
Big catalyst. Why did my brokers just delete my shares of COSM instead of money from my shares? I guess they gave her, Mara, who's your broker?
Why did my brokers delete? It was a reverse split. So if you had 25 shares, now you have one. Shares, but
I see that. Yep, here it is. Sorry, I couldn't pull a comment up. No problem with this thing. All right. Well, I got no second monitor, but if the audio is good, I'm good. I don't really need it. I can do without.
So Ellie's asking about CEI. Let's move on to CEI real quick. I did see a news item that CEI has a 1 for 50 reverse split coming up on December 21st. Does that sound right, guys? Those of you that are following it. Again, CEI is in that bucket for me of it's been a retail momentum. It's been a retail momentum squeeze play a couple times over the last year or two. And I know a lot of people are bag holding it.
1 for 50.
I know for a fact Zach Morris pumped the shit out of this. So people are bag holding it. You can blame Zach for that. And we'll talk about Zach Morris and the pump and dump scam in a little bit tonight. But there's nothing investable. Every time someone asks me CEI and I give the same answer. But Tony, the oil, I've looked, and the reason it's trading at 6 cents is because that's what it's worth. But it's being shorted. They're always shorted for a reason. They're always shorted for a reason. So it's worth 6 cents. It's going to do a 1 for 50 reverse split. Retail is going to think it's the next Cosmos. You might be able to momentum trade this thing just on that starting Monday and double your money. Just on that myth alone, I might buy some just for fun. It's 6 cents. Why not? but I can't tell you anything good about this company. If they're moving, even if they're dog shit, I'll play them for the day.
Just swing in and out, right in
Yeah.
and right out.
Yeah.
50-1. Okay. Yeah, Zach Morris by Saved by the Bell. He's like a shit pumper, like Lou, but famous, more famous.
Let's roll right into that, because I know that's everyone's making videos about the pump and dump, the SEC indicting. Was it an indictment or just a lawsuit? What do you call it? These 8 guys?
Did someone really sue Lou today? That's not true, right?
No,
No.
not that I know of.
Okay.
So I've talked about pump and dump scams and how they work many, many times. That these guys, if you've been a long time listener to my channel, I've warned you guys over and over about these type of schemes where people buy penny stocks very, very cheap. It's called front running. They load up hundreds of thousands or millions of shares before they tell you about it, and they do it over a period of days or weeks where they don't affect the price. And then once all their whole gang has loaded up, then they all agree, oh, you got yours, you got yours. All right, let's push it out to our folks. Right. And they give you a price target, excited. And it's usually tied to something like a short interest or an upcoming news item, what I call the plausible pump news, the PPN. That's my merger. My trademark term, PPN, plausible pump news. It's just enough news to make you think it's legit, but what's moving it is them telling a million people about it. And then they prime the pump by buying a little bit in pre-market to get it moving when there's no volume. And everybody's like, oh my God, they're right. And all of y'all start jumping in. And as soon as you're jumping in, they are already selling into your buying.
Mm-hmm.
They're selling into your buying. They're raking in millions of dollars and telling you to keep buying, keep buying, keep buying. That all of that is illegal. Front running, telling you to buy while they're selling. That, you know, that's why I have always on this channel, I tell you guys, even if it hurts your feelings, like when I said I sold GameStop and now I'm swing trading it, I tell you what I am doing. I'm in the red on my AMC. Come audit my books. I don't care. I don't like, and the reason I turn on these cameras is because of these clickbaiters and these pump and dumpers taking advantage of people. And I will tell you stuff that is going to hurt your feelings, make you mad. You're going to call me a bear. You're going to call me a shorter. You're going to call me whatever, a shill, but I'm going to give you the real information. And I don't care. I'm not here for views. I'm not here to make friends. I don't care how many people don't understand what I'm saying and make videos calling me a shill. That is you want to believe the hopium, then just don't listen to my channel. But for the people that want a dose of reality or like a foundation of someone who's been doing this a while and does actual DD, that is what we are here for. And I hope that those guys get what's coming to them. All 8 of them, and probably more. You might see some people deleting all their videos because they were telling you to buy stuff when they were shorting it or selling it. I don't know if that's happened. Have you seen that going on at all, Mass? Anybody deleting videos? One?
Un poquito. One, maybe? Uno. Yeah, one guy, 50 million quite boy, that takes a lot of guts to go up. I mean, granted, if he just turned, like you said, which is a possibility, that he just turned all his videos to private, we're not really talking about a big deal, right? Because he's already received all his revenue from all those videos. It's future revenue that he won't receive. But if he just goes back and republishes them, then they're back up on the site and able to start creating revenue again. So it's not like it's a huge, big deal. He can't leave for the BR officially until June. So he's at least here for another 6 months.
I think we've talked about it before, Mash, you and I, and maybe on the lives, and I know I've talked about it on the Discord. I tell them all the time that I watch these other pump and dumpers to know what the uninformed retail investor is going to do, because I cannot reach everybody. And I know that those guys have a big reach and that they're going to move the stock. So we will play those momentum plays if we can get in early. if we don't catch it early, I don't get in it. But you know,
Correct.
everybody's welcome to do what they want. But so many people get told like to buy GTII at $8. That's stupidity. 60 cents,
Yeah.
okay, you know, or
Sure.
CGRA at a penny, but 16 cents, fuck no. What are you thinking? But these people will tell you it's going to $100. That is a
Yeah.
fantasy. This is lies.
Yes.
So we
Yeah.
watch who the pump and dumpers are. I've identified many of them and track what they're pumping so that I can say, hey, here's a potential momentum play, but have a realistic price. Never listen to what these guys are saying for the price. And by the way, that's also why I don't give price targets or dates, because I'm not going to sit here and be accused of saying something's going to a ridiculous price. I don't know how many times someone's asked me,
Fuck.
what price do you think something's going to go
Absolutely
to?
not.
I don't do that.
No.
No one can predict how high anything's going to go. I'll say, don't get in the way of a retail FOMO run up. I mean, things can run, but at a certain point, you know, reality is going to set in and people are going to take profits. And it's usually well before what all these pump and dumpers are telling you.
Yeah. Yep. Guys, if you don't mind, if you get a sec in the chat, just let me know how the audio sounds, if it's better than before, or is it still really crackly and messed up? I'm just curious if it that change since I kicked my other screen off, if it's still working. Z Akbar says, Tony, respect. I come here for sobering news. Important as a trader. Take the red pill, real world. Matthew, red on AMC. Also, hopefully we're going to come back and pick up you guys that are red still.
Crypto Bull says, Lou and the crew were saying the new ticker symbol was QSIP. I mean, to say that your world is Wall Street, that you grew up in that world, and then you fucking are so stupid that you think QSIP is a ticker. I mean, that right there, if nothing else says you're a fraud, if they were saying that, that should be the biggest tip off right there.
Okay.
QSIP is like
a placeholder, like you said.
Every one of you guys knows what a QSIP is. If these dumbasses don't know what it is, you know they're fucking frauds. Every single one of them.
So, I gotta say, I somebody either wrote or emailed me or texted me something about Matt Kors today. They were talking about real quick. I forgot to mention this to you earlier today. We didn't even bring it up. I think we talked about last time that we had a long conversation about Boss and Kors on that space call and all the stuff that came out from after that. I went over to his channel today just to see what he was doing. Not much has changed over there, huh? But you know what? He has a decent grasp on a lot of aspects of the market, right? As a broad perspective,
yeah,
he's
I
got
think
a
he
pretty
does.
Yeah.
Kors, Matt Kors, yeah.
He does
I mean,
he does some homework, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a I'd say a decent basic understanding of market fundamentals, as good as any I've seen, and that pisses a lot of people off because he just tells you like it is and doesn't. I mean, he's switched up, right? He started out a year and a half ago talking about all the conspiracy theory stuff, and he just kind of pushed all that aside. But you know, that was his choice. The things that he talks about are normal market mechanics, and I can't really fault him on any of that.
Nope. Definitely listening to him speak for a while. He's got a pretty decent underlying established understanding of the dynamics, right? I would say.
Yeah. T+98, Dr. McLevin, or anyone else that's asking about that. I put out I put out my due diligence on T+90 on Twitter, maybe on my community tab a couple 6-8 weeks ago. I got a hold of the regulation that the guys pushing that were saying, talking about the syndicates and the 90 days. I took screenshots and posted it for you guys. This has nothing to do with APE or or our plays. A syndicate and the 90 days is, I mean, on the screenshots, it tells you what they need to wrap up in 90 days. Their expense accounts, mobile phone bills, travel expenses, just,
Private jets.
yeah. I mean, it has, I could not find anything to, I wish I could have said, oh yeah, 90 days, but, and again, I've said this every live stream for the past 10 days. If anyone that is strongly advocating for T plus 90 wants to email me your best DD and then go on live and we'll talk about your data versus mine, I'm happy to do that. Anyone who's strongly advocating for T plus 90, let's have a live discussion. Not a debate, not to embarrass anybody. Maybe you'll prove me wrong. That's cool. It's good for everybody to hear the discussion. But so far, nobody's reached out. So I'm going to stick by the T90 thing was bogus and we shouldn't be talking dates. No date that anyone has ever said has worked out.
0. Roseanne says it's true about Boss. Is he one of the pumping numbers? Roseanne, I haven't seen Boss talking about any of the OTC penny stocks, but I could be. I didn't hear it mentioned once on Space Call, I don't think. I'm trying to think. Not in his live streams. Has he? Has he talked about it? I haven't. Chat, someone to help us.
Yeah, I don't watch that many other YouTubers just because I'm spending so much time researching. But when I see Boss, I see a guy who's really excited about a movie company. So I don't have any other comment than that because I just don't watch him. And that's nothing against him. I like Marcel and I like his enthusiasm. I like that he keeps people in the play, but I don't know his content.
I think that was my biggest thing this weekend when he deleted his channel and all the views. That's not good for AMC overall. So really, in the long run, I think it's good for AMC investors or for retail to get an understanding of this guy's persona non grata, right? But if he comes back, he might add some stability to the play in reality. I can't say that for sure, but he's definitely played his role up to this point. I don't know if he's just trash now or what. I mean, can he come back and get people interested again? I don't know. After you just purged your entire YouTube career, just went down 50 million views, vaporized off of your site, and then COSM runs 176% the next day. Well, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. What's going on?
MC Prosperity said Matt did not know dark pools suppress price. Yeah, that I did hear Matt say that in that discussion that the two gentlemen had, and I was honestly surprised that he said that. That was one thing that he said that I don't agree with. I mean, we know that the price comes from the lit exchange, and all the trades happening over in the dark pool are not affecting the price. Yes, there's white papers written. You can go read 50-page white paper that says, oh, we did all this analysis and it doesn't really affect the price. But come on, if 80% of your volume is trading not affecting the price, are you going to tell me that the 20% trading over here on the lit exchange
is making that much of a difference? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think the difference would be if all those orders were together? I think it would be a little bit different, but what do I know? I didn't write a white paper, so I'm just here with my I'm just here with my cynical self thinking that doesn't make sense to me. If the majority of the volume is going to a dark pool, it would seem to me that you're probably not getting the real buying pressure or selling pressure to the price. I don't know why Matt said that. Someone convinced him, I'm sure. You know what I mean? We lost Massalorian for a second. Is Pantheon in the chat, Mike? Massalorian's back. There he is.
I got to be the only YouTuber to live stream in history that kicks himself off of his own live stream. Unreal. Pratik Patel said, do you think COSM will run again? Oh, shit. I mean, so what we closed today, what was the number T, the final number at CSOM?
Let me pull it back up so I give you the right answer. It was around 750, I think, but let's see.
7:15.
723 is what I'm seeing here on Webull.
That's what you got?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess 7:15, but whatever.
So look, I can't say for sure what's going to happen on Monday, guys. Could people be excited about it again on Monday? 100%. Yes. People are going to be, we got the shorts on the rope. You know, they took advantage of after hours low volume to push it down. Maybe they did. I don't know. It was clearly much lower volume in after hours. But what's also going to happen on Monday is everybody that couldn't trade today, probably half the population, is going to want to do something on Monday. What are they going to want to do? You got to think about that. Are they going to want to hold, buy, sell? I don't know all that calculus. And I'm very worried that Monday or Tuesday that Cosmos will do a share offering, because now they can, and the price is high and they need money.
They need cash. Right.
And that would be a negative. So I'm probably just going to watch, and if it starts moving, I'll jump in for a few minutes and have a trailing stop loss, write it up. If it's not moving, on to the next one. Just like a normal day.
Somebody was saying in the chat, like, "Oh, Mash, you look crazy high right now," and I'm like, "I am." But dude, I bought this thing. I'm not kidding. I bought this thing about an hour or maybe 3 hours ago. It's already gone. A half a gram on a pen stem. How is that possible? There's no way I smoked that much since like 6 o'clock tonight or 5 o'clock. There's no way I smoked this whole half a thing. I think I got ripped off. I don't like these gel things, these pen things. I don't like them at all. I really don't. You know, I never used to smoke before I came on to the live streams, but I think it does actually help me get a little more focused in on what I'm talking about, especially if I'm doing.
if I took a gummy or something, and people send them to me, a couple of the subs on the channel, some samples to try. But which, by the way, I owe them a video. Maybe I'll do that this weekend to get them some publicity. That stuff will fuck me up till about noon the next day. Like if I took a gummy right now,
yeah,
I'd be toast in about an hour. I'd be just like
wrecked.
Yeah, because I don't do that stuff often, and it hits me hard.
Me too with the edibles. It'll knock me out. Yep. Same here. That's why I don't do them. But this is like a sour diesel. So it's a sativa strain, and I'm like, something that will, help me push through writer's block or open up my imagination or something. He's like, "Oh man, you gotta try this," and I'm like, "All right, I guess I've been launching on this thing all day, and I can't believe it's gone already." I'm like, "What? That's crazy." There's not. How do you can't? There's no way I could have compressed a half a gram in like 4 hours of vape juice. There's no way. There's just no way. I think I got gypped. By the way, what are your feelings about Henry Cavill leaving as Superman? Are you bummed? Don't care? Or what? Anything? Any comment?
Leaving what?
Of Henry Cavill not coming back for Superman after they pushed him in Black Adam and made him come out and put a tweet out saying he was coming back. What's wrong?
I heard it from
you, people.
When I heard it from you the other day, that was the first that I heard of it, and then I saw a headline about an hour later than that, and I just don't follow Superman enough to have an opinion, to be honest. But we can talk about Avatar because we saw that last night.
Why don't you speak on it? Go ahead. No spoilers, right?
I won't give any spoilers, but Avatar 2, I had bought my tickets about a month ago. We had 2 tickets for IMAX 3D at 7:15 p.m. last night. It's about a 3-hour and 20-minute movie. And Scarlett was coming home around 5. She's like, "I really don't feel like going to see a movie. I'm not in a good mood." I was like, "All right." So I called my son, who's a sophomore in college, and he just finished up his semester. And I said, "Hey, do you want to go see Avatar?" He's like, "Yes." So he drove over here, and then we drove down to the theater. And so I watched it with him. I got his opinion too. But we watched the movie 3D. It's a very long movie. in my opinion, I never noticed that I was sitting there for 3.5 hours. Right.
I've heard that.
I was enthralled, but you guys know that I'm a movie buff already. Like, I like movies, everything about them. I was as excited about Avatar 2 coming out over the past few weeks as years ago when I was anticipating the next Call of Duty or World of Warcraft. Like, it was that kind of, I was really looking forward to this. And I'm very skeptical when sequels come out that they're going to be trash, because,
Yes.
you know, it's hard
They
to,
typically are.
it's hard to beat the original. There's not many sequels of anything that I like, but this one, I think, you know, was as good as or topped the first one, because it pulled in all the elements of the first one, added in the whole, you know, water sequences. The first hour is going to feel very familiar if you've watched the first movie, and then it transitions to the water world.
Okay.
And there's the Navi water tribe. Right? They meet another tribe that lives by the water. That's not really a spoiler.
Okay.
And he's got a family now. So you got a new tribe, you got new characters, and you got every amount of 3D digital special effects that you can imagine that were in Avatar, multiplied now by the water and all the creatures and the ecosystem that inhabit that. And you literally felt like you were right there diving with them. That's how realistic it was. So great storyline, great characters, stunning visuals. I'm going to go see it again this weekend.
Thank God.
I loved it.
Thank God.
I loved it. I think it will do great. And by the way, on Thursday night, that biggest IMAX theater we have in the city was completely full.
Yeah. I just, before we came on to the live, seeing my local theater here, everything except for the late shows. I think the last 2 tickets, they weren't like even close to being sold out yet, but they are running, I think, a late shows tonight, right? This first week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Do you want to talk about what happened at the theater with the famous Italian dish, or no?
I don't know. I mean, Adam.
I think people listen. I think people should be aware when you're going to the theater this weekend. If you're going to see Avatar 2, if you see something that's clearly an issue with our theater company, speak out.
I do that. You know, stocks that I own. When I go in that business, whether it's a Home Depot or a McDonald's or an AMC theater, I'm thinking like an owner of the company, right? And I'm critical if something is not right. And I have reached out to Adam with, you know, suggestions or complaints or observations of operational issues, because I'm a engineering and operations guy, and that kind of shit pisses me off. And I reached out to him twice in October and November about one of my theaters here not having a fucking bartender on the weekends. And I did pull the general manager over both times and ask them, what the fuck? Why is there no bartender? Like, why? This is revenue just going out the door. You guys this is a missed opportunity. Yes. Oh, and he said, the GM said, we can't find anybody. I was like, well, then raise your wage. No, this is ridiculous. The amount of revenue that you're letting just bypass because there's not a bartender staffed here, and lights and music and action, people waiting at the bar, hanging out. We're missing revenue opportunities. It pissed me off. Yeah. And Adam, Aaron, you still have not written me back on either one of those complaints. But last night at the theater, the biggest theater we have in the city, and it was packed. The biggest lines I've ever seen to get in. And then, you know, it went pretty smoothly when we got in to get concessions. And by the way, I'd move the bar at Barton Creek. I'd move it into the lobby, not way off to the right, 20 yards around the corner where nobody can see it, or put a big neon light that says bar over here. Because when you walk into my theater, this other theater, you get your concessions right in front of you, and all the theaters are to the left. The bar is over in no man's land, and you can't even see it when you walk in. That's like, again, wasted opportunity, Adam.
Yep.
You need someone to whip your operations in shape. I will go visit all your theaters, and they're gonna fuck around and find out. I will whip this
Yeah.
shit in shape.
Where are the regional people who are supposed
Where
to be
is
overlooking these
what is the
theaters?
general manager of that theater doing? I mean, this is nonsense. But that's not the complaint.
Unacceptable.
The
Good.
bar's not the complaint. I know where it is
Right.
now, but nobody else
Something
probably does
else.
because you can't fucking see it.
Right.
But my son said he wanted a pepperoni pizza, and the guy said, "Oh, sorry, our oven was right here, but as you can see, it's gone because it's broken." And I'm thinking, you had one fucking job. Avatar 2, the biggest fucking premiere of the year. You should have a checklist to make sure all your equipment is operational, have backups if you need to.
Backups, whatever it takes to get the product demand.
You got the biggest fucking movie premiere coming, and your
Yep.
oven is not working and it's gone, probably out for repair. The only acceptable excuse, and I didn't ask him, was it just broke 5 minutes ago. You should have rented an oven, something. I don't care. This was inexcusable. So I'm just saying that not to bitch out AMC, but maybe you guys can let us know if you're seeing operational issues in your theaters and challenge the general manager like you're an owner of the company, because you are, and give us that feedback, and we'll start feeding it to Adam Aaron, because this is money going out the door. Think of the thousands of dollars, tens of thousands over the next couple of weeks that are not going to be captured because they couldn't sell a pizza.
What happens if that happens to 20, 25% of the theaters? And what if it's, and everyone just decides to ignore it? Listen, if you got to go buy grills at Home Depot and stuff outside, do it. What you have to do, it has some of the largest profit margin in the restaurant world is made of pizza, right? Some of the highest profit margin. So not only are you missing the boat with the weekend that we're going to have as far as attendance, but also how much profit you can rake in. And it's not going to cost you anything to have a damn working stove location where thousands of people are going to come through your doors over the next 3 or 4 days to see a movie, and you can't offer them pizza. I mean, that right there, when you told me that, I was really aggravated, because that makes me think that there's some neglect going on here, maybe, that we're almost have the heat on and we're leaving the windows wide open, right? That's an issue.
When I was in the corporate world and we knew a big event was coming, we planned for it. So it was very disappointing for me that this was not addressed and that they weren't ready at 100% operational capacity on everything. Everything should have been at 110%. There's no excuse for an oven not working on a premiere weekend like this.
True.
I'm going to go back there for my second viewing on Sunday or Saturday, probably
if
Sunday.
It's still broken. Yeah.
And if it's not fixed on Sunday, I'm going to talk to the GM at that location, whoever's on duty that night, and then send another message to Adam Aaron.
And we should make a big fuss come hella high water that it's addressed. And like I said, if there's something that you guys see, or whether it's something like that you might think is insignificant, but like a trashed bathroom, no one, anything, whatever it happens to be, we all have a lot of money in this company, so don't be afraid to open up and say, say what you're seeing, what's going on. Make him aware, push it on them, right?
I'm the type of guy, like at a gas station, you know how you have those windshield squeegees. If there's no cleaning fluid and water in the reservoir and the squeegee is all ripped to hell, I will go in and talk to the manager of that gas station. I'm that much of a dick. That shit pisses me off. But even more so at AMC when I own the stock.
When I'm a shareholder, right? And you're supposed to be out there and you're putting your best on the floor to bring in as much revenue and profit for the company as you can. If those people aren't doing that job, they need to go. That's all. You find someone who will. So if you see something blatant like that, guys, please bring it up.
I see Kevin Free From It All. His YouTube name is Free From It All. Yeah, I gave you a shout out, Kevin, earlier for mentioning something that I mentioned tonight, and also in Teddy's Discord this morning, that there is a high probability that Cosmos will do a share offering now that they've done the reverse split. That's a very common playbook
Tactic.
and you called that out. Also, I saw your video. I don't watch many YouTubers' videos, but yours showed up, and I haven't watched one of yours in a while, so I clicked on it, and I was like, yes, I'm glad someone else is putting that warning out, because people need to know that if you're holding Cosmos, this is a risk, a new share offering. The company is in desperate need of cash. It's a very likely possibility, and that would be bearish if you're holding Cosmos, hoping it's going to run up. You could get rug pulled if there's a share offering press release.
What does a red line mean before your comment? I have no idea, Beast. You know, Tony? Red line before your comment? I have no clue.
No. Yuka says Tony is a secret shopper.
That would be a great job. That's a nice cushy job. You just get sent into places to go eat dinners and see how the service is, and that wouldn't be a bad job, man. I tell you. Let me see here. What do you think about that, Tony? Do you agree that I engage in Asian massage parlors? No, that wasn't the question. Someone asked about, do you think, that weeds are drugs? Do you believe weeds drugs? I really don't.
I mean,
not anymore. Not anymore. I used to, but I really don't anymore.
I'm okay with marijuana being legalized. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. If Brittany Griner can sell it in Russia, I think I can smoke it here legally. I should be able to. If we're going to let her out of prison for the merchant of death for carrying around weed, I think we should be all set in this country. If you get arrested for weed, I would sue the fuck out of the federal government. So you just traded someone for selling weed in Russia for the merchant of death.
Kevin said the AMC should also give shares to the employees. That's something that I've brought up a couple times. I've asked, and I know other people have asked if employees know what's going on with the stock. Like, they're clueless. And 100% there should be. And I've actually suggested Adam Aaron should take a 50% pay cut and do a share distribution to employees in form of a profit sharing or something. Make them invested partners in the success of that company and let them know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
I mean, these people are making minimum hourly wages in most cities.
Carl J.
Give them a reason to be proud. Give them
the money.
A invested interest in the country, in the company.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
They should do that. And I did the math one time. You know, if Adam Aaron, if you take all their employees, and even if he took a $10 million pay cut, you could still give a meaningful distribution to employees in shares. So yeah, I'd love to see that. Help the little guy out. Make your employees owners of the company. Make it, vested. If they stay there for a year, they get, 100 shares or whatever. Just figure it out.
I haven't heard of any companies that have done that so far. As far as smaller companies, I mean, I haven't heard. I'm going to put AMC in the large corporate division, right? But for smaller to mid-range businesses, everyone who's done any type of profit sharing like that has usually performed pretty well, and like overall job satisfaction and output is pretty good. Production's good. There's a lot of benefits to it. There really is.
I get the problem is that most likely the vast majority, probably 70% of AMC staff is part-time, and you don't generally compensate part-time employees with that type of benefit. I get it.
Right. Yep.
I get it. I have lived in that world.
But it's also about customer service in the theaters. You need good customer service. You need good reps on the floor interacting with guests and customers. If you don't have a good experience, forget it.
It's just a suggestion, something they should think about. I mean, who knows? Maybe someone will keep that part-time job for all 4 years of high school or all 4 years of college because they're getting some shares of stock and they understand what's going on.
They have invested interest in making money and profit because it's on their bottom line. And so that pizza oven's not going to be broken. And if it
When
is, like Carl J says here in the comment, order 50 Little Caesars.
when
Can you
when
flip a profit? Do it.
when I was in the corporate world, we had employee stock purchase plan with matching, and we had if you were a salaried employee, you could get bonused with stock options. And yes, we fucking worked our tail off because you could 5x your salary by driving the stock price up through productive work and smart decision making. So absolutely does work. I just don't know, how you roll that out to part-time employees in a theater. But Adam, if you're watching, someone sends you this, something to think about. Hopefully his management team is compensated with stock, but why don't you have a bartender? Why do you have an oven not working?
That's inexcusable. I'm sorry. That's inexcusable. If you go back Sunday and that oven's not either replaced, fixed, and it should be pumping out pizzas. Should be like nonstop, one after another. And they should be switching them around, pulling them to the front, whatever you got to do. Joanne says we have. What pisses you on says owning the float. Joanne says we have 50 times the float invested in this company. Yes. Yeah, so if you speak up, you don't have to wait to talk to us on Sunday night. Say something ask for the GM. You don't got to go direct to Adam Aaron. Go to the GM first and give him a heads up and say, listen, I have 6,000 shares right now, and I'm not happy that the oven's broken.
And tell them you're going to DM Adam Aaron on Monday morning. Like, correct. You don't need to be I'm nice about it when I talk to them, but I talk to them like I'm a literal owner of the company, just in a professional way. Say, why don't you have a bartender here? What's going on? Oh, we can't hire anyone. Well, what are you paying them? Well, we were paying a minimum wage, but we just increased it $2. I'm like, well, you need to think about increasing it more than $2, because in this city, that is not enough. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And
Austin's a hipster city, right? So those kids are making like decent dough.
You can walk into a fucking, sorry, I'm cussing a lot, but it's Friday night.
Jesus Christ, Tony.
You can walk into a barbecue restaurant with a high school diploma and make, start at $16 an hour. And they're trying to pay the bartenders like $9, come on.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. Yep. Reno Cornett, what's up, buddy? Big B says, some of us are stuck. Lots of us are stuck. Lots of us. The Avatar 2 length might hurt box office as far as repeat viewers, says Andrew. Yeah, I hadn't really taken consideration, Andrew. Definitely 3-hour runtime, I think, will have maybe some. Yeah, definitely. I think that will have an effect on people's going back to see it twice. But you're going to go see it Sunday again, right?
Yeah, I think it depends how much of a movie and Avatar fanatic you are. Like, I already liked Avatar, the first one. I've seen it many times, Summit in the theaters. Didn't they re-released it recently, right?
Yeah. It's on Plus and at the theaters too. Yep.
Yeah. I went to go see it when they re-released it. I've seen it on TV. I saw it when it came out. Everything about that movie just has always blown me away. The storyline, the digital, everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Avatar and I like movies. I will go see Avatar 2 again. And I was even thinking at one point, while I was watching it, I could sit here if they stretch this story out for 8 hours, other than food and bathroom breaks, I'd sit there 8 hours and watch it. It was that good.
Okay. That's such a relief.
But I'm biased, right? Have you?
Yeah, I know.
Those of you that are gamers, like I used to be a gamer, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, I would sit there and when they drop something, I'd play it for 3 days straight.
See,
that's how I am. That's how I am with Avatar stuff. Look, some of us are like that with movies. So I might be the exception, but
I used to be bad. I would buy a Total War game and play for like 3 days straight, 24 hours. I would like try to get 2 years worth of construction and building armies and staying on the game for 3 days straight without skipping a beat.
Yep.
This is a whole different animal though, right? We're not gaming channels. This is a whole different element. Let me ask you this. As far as AMC and Ape go, how much are you would you how comfortable would you feel saying that this has no issue again after the next quarterly to get back to double digits? Because we're really swaying in like a very I don't know if the word I want to use here is correctly. But like when we said the other day that we're almost at that point right now where it doesn't make sense for the stock to go any lower. Like this is the bottom of the bottom, and I know that's not. Maybe we said 520, maybe 530, but I mean we're right around there, right? So do you really think that that is our bottom? Because I feel like as soon as we tap that bottom, we're gonna get a nice bounce off it. I just it is T.
Yeah, I'm going to answer that. Please. I'm going to answer that, but throw free from it all. Throw his comment up there so we can come back to that because we've already talked about this. But I want you to come back and answer it. Free from it all. Okay. About the Avatar needs $2 billion to make a profit. We already got the answer for that. But
I can trust
that. I just want to disclose that I did buy GameStop recently. You guys know I've been tracking my my buy-in targets for a long time, months and months and months. And when it hit 22, I bought some more. So I added to my GameStop position. Unfortunately for me, I had it as a good till canceled order. So I should have waited for it to come down and I could have got it for like 20 and change, but that just automatically executed. And it is what it is. I was willing to buy it for 22. And if it goes to 1950, I'll buy some more. But I'm not putting a good till canceled on 1950 because the trend has been mostly downward on GameStop. So if it keeps going down, you know, I'll play it by ear, let's say. But AMC also, just to finish off this precursor to your question, Mass.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time since August, because I've only been buying Ape, I did buy AMC 2 times today. In the 520 range because it's just getting so damn cheap.
Yeah, that's what we were saying, right?
That's a precursor answer to your question. Now, could AMC go lower? Could the market go lower in the next month or 2 months? That's really the question. What's driving everything in the stock market right now is interest rates, fear about the index is dropping, fear about a market crash, institutional money fleeing the market. And that's the teeter-totter that we're on, not only in AMC, but in a lot of stocks. Do you buy right now or do you wait for things to crash a little more? And we got that teeter-totter going down with the market risk. And we got Avatar
interest rates.
Market risk due to interest rates and inflation. Mm-hmm. And everybody's worried about, not buying anything right now. And we got Avatar over here. How is that going to balance out, right? I know the Avatar is going to be, I think the Avatar is going to be huge for AMC over the next 4 to 6 weeks. But how does that balance out with the market dynamics? Crystal ball, not clear enough to tell you for sure. But I did add a little AMC today just in case. And if it goes down a little
more. Foul
more,
language.
If it goes down a little more,
I'll said that 100 miles an hour. More. That's funny. Okay.
If it goes down a little more, I'll add a little more. But I always, I never ignore market dynamics. Yep. If you're adding for a long-term play, whether I'm adding Tesla right now, I'm adding Amazon, I'm adding Meta, I'm looking at Disney, looking at Google, Costco, all of these, I'm like, do I buy today or do I wait 2 weeks? Because it could be cheaper. You can't analyze AMC separate from all those other ones because you love it. Everything's got to be in the same filter if you're rational about your investing decisions. So
Elon's getting decimated by Tesla right now, huh? Decimated.
Yeah, I did buy some Tesla recently, and I'd love to buy it cheaper. I'd love to buy Tesla cheaper. But, all of these kind of have the same problem. You got the market pulling them down, and I don't know where the bottom on anything is, honestly.
And they're smearing the owner of the damn company all over mainstream media.
They want
So
to decimate Tesla right now because that hurts him with Twitter, and they don't want him owning Twitter. They want Twitter to fail, so they're crushing Tesla on purpose.
Oh yeah, this is all
Shorting
they were
it,
in the
media
Twitter.
items.
They said it in Twitter. Bill Gates said when he reached out to me, he said, "Are you still have a short position on Tesla, Bill?" And Bill said, "Yes, I'm shorting electrical car company and you, Elon." So this is, as far as I'm concerned, at this point, he's at war with Bezos and Gates because they're actively trying to destroy him from the outside. If you're short on AMC, if you're short on Tesla, and you are proclaiming to be a entrepreneur and a philanthropist for the betterment of society in the world, and you're shorting Tesla, I'm sorry, but you gotta take that person can't be allowed to have his way. There's gotta be some pushback to that.
I posted a tweet. I know we're getting off topic here, but let's go into the Twitter thing for a second. I'm all about free speech, whether it's left or right. And Twitter identifies as the public square of free speech in America, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And
it is.
And that they were banning a lot of right-leaning free speech earlier this year and last year and the year before that. And I was laughing because someone, I don't know who this dude is, either one of them, someone retweeted 2 messages from obviously a left-leaning tech guy who back in March, when people were complaining about all the right-leaning people getting banned off of Twitter, he tweeted, "It's a private company. They're free to do what they want. You have to respect that right.
The privacy right of
It's a private company. They can do what they want. Get over it." That's what they say, right?
That's right.
Get over it.
They're
It's
not
a
a
utility.
They're not a utility. Right.
But then this same guy this week, because all the leftist media got banned
they took down the guy who was following his plane. Yep.
Yeah. All of them.
The guy trying to kidnap his son. Fucking weirdos.
That same guy that said in March it's a private company, he said, if Twitter doesn't reinstate these people tomorrow, I'm going to be in front of U.S. Congress demanding that Elon Musk be hauled in for a congressional hearing.
Just because the argument had changed to the left, left demographic, right? That's it.
Really?
That's all that happened, right?
You do not. Yeah. And then people started calling the dude out, and he put all his tweets on private. It's like they can't handle the truth of their own two-facedness.
Yeah, their own hypocrisy.
Yes, hypocrisy. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of it going around. A lot of it. You could free to thanks, man. Appreciate it. And I got that written down right here. It's the first thing I have on my cue card, actually, about Vanderlei. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. You guys, huge supporter of both me and Tony, man. We really appreciate you. Along with many others, right? Danny R says, I'm not sure which stream is cooler, Massalorians or Tony's. Yeah, Tony's looks pretty good tonight. I think I'm pretty sure I'm way out of focus right now, but if the audio's good, I'm just gonna call that a win tonight.
Your audio's been sounding great since that second monitor went out. No joke.
I'm not gonna ever put it back on again.
All right, let's come back to Kevin's question about Massalorian. I know you can talk to this. I could talk to it too, but it's really your talking point. AMC, Kevin's going to say you should buy puts or short it because Avatar 2, sorry, Kevin, if I'm getting your words wrong, feel free to chime in, but AMC is no good because Avatar 2 needs $2 billion to break even and go. How would you address that point?
So I was saying in my video last night, I heard John Campia, who used to work for AMC headquarters, right? He wasn't the tech guy. But he did something there at AMC. He worked at corporate for a while, and their formula, according to Campia, now he's been streaming on his own channel now for a couple of years. But he said that their formula was they took the production cost. They doubled that for advertising, and with Avatar, that could be a little higher. They have pushed a lot of, just look around. You've seen it being pushed all over YouTube. There's a lot of advertising for Avatar. They put a lot of money into that campaign, but and then add 33% to that total, those two numbers together, at 33% of that, and that will be your break-even point. Now, when I reported the other night that he said he needed $2 billion to break even, basically that was like a thing with the studio. For the next 2 through 5 installments, it's going to cost around $2 billion total to produce those movies, and then double that for all of the marketing costs, right? So this film itself, Avatar 2, just needs to do, I believe, $665,000 to cover this film's budget, plus all the costs for marketing, and then add on the top that 33%, and that's where you come up with your number 665 to be profitable. So if it makes $1 billion, we're talking about a lot of money now. So
yeah, our numbers,
I was kind of compressing it.
Our numbers from Super Steven, you know him, just another
Yep.
ape. He's
Yep.
tied in. He's got ties into the movie industry, folks. Is budget for this movie plus marketing, they need to clear about 750 to break even on Avatar 2, not this 2 billion narrative that's going around. So I don't believe the 2 billion narrative.
It's
but
wrong.
more importantly,
Yeah.
that's for Avatar 2 production to break even. That has nothing to do with a movie
Sales
company, a theater's profits.
That's right.
Theater's going to
That's the
get
big
a
thing.
profit off of every ticket and all the concessions.
Right.
I don't care
Correct.
if a movie breaks even. They need to figure the fuck that out and make movies that are profitable for them, because that's a win-win for everybody. But even a non-profitable movie can generate profits for a movie theater.
Which
right?
is why the pizza thing infuriates me even more, because this is Avatar's one of those big movies where their first weekend AMC is going to see the least money of any time that it's in the theater, right? So as we go longer it stays in the theater, the more of a kickback AMC takes from the production company, right? So the production house gets the most off the first weekend, and that slowly tries to dribble down, from the 40s to 45, and then AMC's getting like 50-50 now as we get into weeks 3, 4, and 5. So that's why all these Marvel movies that haven't had the legs on weeks 2. What did we see had legs this year? Jurassic Park had legs. Top Gun had legs, right? There are a couple movies that had legs. A lot of them lost their legs the second. They have 65% drop, 72% drop. All of those asses not in seats on weekends 3 or 2, 3, 4, 5 is, compounded revenue that we're missing. And then break your oven and not be able to sell pizza. And now you're talking about a lot of money, right?
If it's multiplied times 1,000 locations, yeah. Hopefully
right.
it's not.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not. That's the only reason I brought that up tonight. Not because I want to shit on AMC, but I want you guys to let us know if you're seeing operational issues at your theaters.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are the eyes. You got, we need to spread that reach out and funnel it back, and we will make some noise for you.
Yeah.
If you're seeing problems.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is something that's got to be stayed on top of, and I am the worst communicator on the planet. I'm not going to deny that for 1 second. I am terrible, awful, despicable, and just horrible at it. But it's got to be done. There's no turning back now at this point. This is either full throttle or you got to step away. There's you can't have one foot in and out now.
What are your thoughts, Massalorian? Just opinion. Do you think, and I know it's way early to answer this question because you haven't even seen the movie. Are you hoping that Avatar 2 surpasses Maverick, Top Gun, or do you think it has the capacity to over the next 2 months?
So I heard that as of right now, from Thursday night, so when you went last night, they did 50 million domestic and 25 million in China. Now, here's the thing. It only opened, I think, in 25% of China because of COVID. Like, that's another thing that's crushing us right now is the regime over there, and the lockdown things are killing the box office. They are still in some of these large metropolitan areas, like on 24/7 lockdown. Like there's no theaters open. AMC's not open over there. They're not showing movies. But they did have, I guess, 25% of them are open right now at some capacity.
Are there AMC theaters in China?
Maybe it wasn't. I just heard the guy say maybe it was just theaters in general. Like he said, the Chinese box office. Let me see.
I just care about
Is
where AMC is, where AMC dealers.
This is true. This is true. Yeah, because
What
didn't they
do you,
make want to dump all their stock because they weren't in China? Isn't that why they gave up their stake?
Maverick Top Gun on opening weekend made 205 million on opening week. Let me check opening weekend. I think it was a 150 or 180.
Did that come out on a holiday weekend? Do you remember?
May 27th, Memorial Day weekend. It made 160. So you said already that
about 70.
Avatar did 50 domestic. I'm looking at domestic numbers.
And 25, I think I heard for last night. 50 and 25.
Oh, I thought you said 50 last night.
Yeah, 50 and 25. 50 domestic and 25 in China. That's what I saw.
So, I mean, we could easily, over the 4-day weekend, beat 160 on Avatar.
Well, for sure. We could blow past that. Yeah. I mean,
and then it becomes a question of, does it have legs? Like you said, there's been a lot of disappointments in Q4. And if you haven't tuned into my live streams this week, we have a $800 million gap on domestic box office. That is huge. $800 million gap on domestic box office for Q4 2022 versus Q4 2021. That is the biggest red flag that I have for AMC stock right now.
Me too.
I always talk about, we need to see every quarter increasing. For me right now, seeing an $800 million gap, and we got 3 weekends to fill that on one movie.
Yeah.
This better be a fucking blockbuster. Go see the movie this weekend. And if you like it, tell people to go see it before the end of the year. We got to pack the house for the next 3 weekends.
Yeah. Yeah. Show AMC support. I mean, we're all going to do it, right? We're all going to go see Avatar. Most of us.
You can already imagine the headlines in January if whatever, if the Q4 box office numbers for 2022 do not surpass 2021, you already know what the headlines are going to say.
Yeah. Yeah. They're going to take
it's
a big fat turn.
It's slowing down. People aren't going to the movies.
People are afraid. The pandemic, you're going to hear it all. You're going to hear it all.
It's the movie production company's fault for putting out crap movies, but we get the brunt of it at the theater side.
And booting their legacy characters, guys who some people specifically just went to go see Black Adam because of a 2-second cameo of Henry Cavill at the end of Superman. I mean, there are some people out there who did that, and the film made money. So, anyone, all these people out there who are saying that Bob Iger and with now Gunn coming back to DC EU is gonna, it's just gonna, they're gonna, it's gonna be it's more of the same, and they're just trying to put lipstick on a pig, right? They're not changing anything with their I guess apparently Avatar figured it out. When was it James Cameron was given the green light to go ahead and do all this family-centered story with like a strong what was it that's so different about Avatar that he was allowed all that freedom? Why aren't there I don't understand. Why isn't there at least a couple gay couples? What's going on? There's a lot of Navis, right? So I don't understand. Why is none of that being there's none of that in this at all? Why was he allowed to do nothing in a 3-hour movie? There's no representation and diversion and equity. What the hell? Everyone's just blue? What a nightmare. How are we going to fight each other? Damn it. Can't draw lines in the sand like that. But I'm glad. Thank God. That was the one thing I was a little freaking out about in the back of my head. I'm like, if this guy blows this, that means that next 3 movies are going to be piss poor as well. And I was reading the other day, T. Do you know that right now, Ridley Scott's filming a movie about the Battle of Marengo and Napoleon, like a 3-hour epic, like Gladiator style movie about Napoleon and
that
Joaquin
Phoenix. Right up my alley. No, I didn't know.
Oh
that.
Yeah, in Malta, they're in Malta right now filming. They're filming. They just started production on Gladiator 2, which is either a prequel. I can't remember what he said, but Chris Hemsworth is going to come in. Ridley Scott is writing the play for it. Writing the screenplay. So that was interesting. And anytime if Scott's doing a big movie like that, an epic like Gladiator or Braveheart, or I mean, especially with Napoleon, and if you see the picture of Joaquin Phoenix, they have him looking. It looks just like a painted picture of Napoleon would look. He's doing a pretty good job dressing up as him. But I love that time period, the uniforms, guys just lining up in a line, shooting at each other and charging each other with bayonets and bladed swords. It was a wild time, man. The early 1800s. They got dressed up to fight. They look like proper gentlemen. It's wild, those fights, man. That 50,000 people getting killed in one day. That's a lot of bodies. What did they do with those battlefields after? But that got me excited. I saw some of the pictures and some of the shots of them attacking like this castle in Malta, and it looked awesome. The uniforms look sweet. It was just that's right in my wheelhouse. I love that historical, those historical epics.
I see people talking about Avatar going to streaming. I did catch an interview of the IMAX CEO, and I don't know if IMAX stock is a good investment, but that CEO is always on CNBC in the morning, so I should check into it. But he said that no, this movie's not going to streaming anytime soon. It's meant to see in 3D. It's meant to see in a theater, and he expects it to be in theaters longer than a normal movie release.
It's good for us. The longer it stays in the theater, every week that goes by, the theater keeps more of a percentage, less goes to the production company. So that's good for us. And every dime of concessions we keep. So
I was checking in my city alone tonight. There's 60 different screenings of Avatar 2, and most of them were full except the midnight. Like, who's going to go watch a 3.5 hour movie at midnight? But
late.
There were a couple seats taken. But
Yeah.
when you're filling 60 theaters, that's a pretty good opening weekend.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people excited about seeing this movie.
I really haven't seen the real negative. Like, I haven't seen that review yet, honestly. I mean, I haven't really been searching for it either, but everything that's popped up on my radar has been positive. Even guys who are being critical about every other thing Disney's put out this year. One thing they all agree on: Avatar, the visuals are phenomenal. The storyline's awesome. They love the way that it leaves it open for the next one, and how they were able to kind of reboot this whole world again. Like you said, add new characters, new locations, the animals, being underwater, all those aspects, switch it up and make it a completely different viewing experience than you had 13 years ago, right? So I'm looking forward to that part of it, like just seeing that technological jump that we're going to make now. Which would be exciting, man. And like we were saying on the phone earlier, I think they kind of overplayed the 3D right away and put it on everything, and people got kind of burnt out. But when it's shot for 3D, it can look awesome. On IMAX, it can look really good. I think they just went a little overkill originally. They were trying to be, and not everything's supposed to be shot that way.
I see someone saying a 3-hour movie should have an intermission. By the way, Adam Aaron, if you're watching, you know what else I would do as your operations nationwide manager is I'd put a keg and a little beer kiosk outside the Avatar theaters so that someone could walk right out, grab a beer on tap, and walk right back in without having to walk all the way back to the lobby. Just a little idea there, Adam.
Could you dispense that without a person standing there?
No, you have a person staffing it.
Okay.
I don't want to waste 15 minutes walking all the way down the steps, all the way back to the lobby, wait in line. Just give me a kiosk right there. I'll go grab a beer halfway through.
I'm curious to see what the floor plan is at your theater. What's the town, T? Does it matter if I say it, or you don't anyone know, or the town of the AMC?
What do you mean the town?
You want to type it to me in the chat? I just want to take a look at the floor plan, see what the bar is in correlation to the rest of the theater.
In the one that I went to?
Down here, private chat. Yeah.
Oh, it's the Barton Creek. I don't think they have a floor plan of the whole theater. The whole layout of the thing.
It's in a strip mall?
It is in a mall. That one is in a mall. Yeah.
Give me a couple minutes. We could talk about other stuff, though. So you find I'm just curious to see, like, so when I was asking you last night, I'm like, there's no access to see from the lobby, the bar, right? You're saying it's hidden around the almost, right? Where
When
the
you walk
theaters
in
are,
the
the doors.
theater, the concessions is right in front of you. All the theaters, auditoriums are to the left, and the bar is way over to the right, not even in line of sight.
Yeah, it sucks. That's not good. That sucks. Yeah, there's a lot of profit there too, right? With beer on tap, that's a huge, huge
And
profit line.
in the other ones that I go to, the other two that are in my neighborhood, but they don't have huge IMAX screens, the bar is right there in the lobby, like right next to
Prominent.
concessions.
Yeah,
Yes.
prominent, right?
This
Yeah.
this one is in a horrible the one, Barton Creek, the bar is in a horrible spot. They should move it. And there's plenty of space to move it.
Is it an older AMC theater?
Yeah, it's been there a long time.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
that
mine
was
is too.
bad
Mine's
planning.
super old.
Bad planning.
Yeah, you got to have that within sight of the lobby. Like that stuff has to be all up front and front and center, right? Can't have that tucked away in the back of a huge 20 theater movie theater, right? No one's gonna ever make it over there to buy anything.
At least they had a bartender though.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna praise them for that.
Put a bartender in the one that no one can see, and the other two where they're right in the lobby, no bartender.
Right. All right. Let me. I think I got it here. I think. How many? Oh yeah, this is IMAX AMC. You said you saw an IMAX, right? T?
Yeah. We were in
Barton.
the very last row, by the way, and of course, the tall guy sat right in front of me, so I couldn't see the bottom, this much of
No
the
way.
screen. I was having to like look around him when they're speaking in the Navi native language. They have the closed caption. I couldn't read it. I couldn't fucking read it.
Oh no. Oh, she sucks. Did you move? What happened? No, you were stuck, right?
No, it was a packed theater. Where was I gonna go?
Oh man, that sucks. Well, we're gonna go see it again tomorrow, right? So hopefully
tomorrow or Sunday. I mean, the rows have a decent slope to them, but this guy must have been a fucking behemoth. If I couldn't see over his head.
All right. Yeah, it sounds like a
King Kong sitting in the row in front of me.
Sounds like a straight soldier. Yeah. If he was blocking your whole view of the screen, can't see the damn closed captioning. Oh man, you guys are funny. That's good, man. No, I mean that I said that in the video, and when I was watching it back this morning, I'm like, that was not good that I came out and said, man, I just took like a huge weight off my shoulder because I was so nervous about Cameron talking about testosterone is toxins. I'm like, oh no, please, James, don't take us down this road, bro. You were famous from Terminator and Arnold Schwarzenegger and making Ripley and Aliens. Please don't talk about testosterone being toxic, please. Please. You've already done this with a female role and she crushed it. There's nothing to prove, bro. You've already done it with the movie. Aliens is one of the best sequels ever, like with Empire and Godfather, I think.
I wish AMC. I see people saying AMC should like sell popcorn and movies and stuff in, come to your seat. I wish they could do that. Like, I've had to fight my wife for the last 2 years because she loves to go to Alamo Draft House. I don't know if you guys have that in your city, but
is that kind of like Texas Roadhouse? Same idea?
No, it's a theater, but you can turn on a light or a switch and they will come to your seat and you can reorder food or beer throughout the movie. They duck down, so it's fairly unobtrusive. It is obtrusive.
A little.
You lose seating capacity because you got to have enough space for a waiter to walk through every aisle.
Okay.
She always wants to go, can we go see that movie at Alamo Draft House? I'm like, fuck no. Do we own stock of Alamo Draft House? No. After I sell my AMC, we can go back to Alamo Draft House. It's a fine theater. I like the convenience of having food and beer without having to get up and interrupt my movie. But no, as long as we're in this play, don't talk to me about Alamo Draft House. Just, you can go by yourself.
Won't happen. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I had the same conversation with one of my buddies the other day. I'm like, dude, if I don't go to AMC, I'm like, if I ever got caught in a different movie theater, I would be tarred, feathered, and probably thrown into Boston Harbor. No way.
It would be
I
nice.
wouldn't be
It
caught
would be
dead.
nice if they could do to the seat delivery. And one of the theaters that I go to near me, the AMC, it's a dine-in theater, and they have an extended menu. They ask your seat number when you order, and they'll bring it to you before the movie starts. But there's no reordering. You gotta get up and go get a beer, and that can be
Okay.
a long walk. It's irritating. Like, have a fucking kiosk with a keg right outside. Why do I got to walk all the way
To, and
and
wait a
miss
minute.
10 minutes of the movie? I'm not going to do that.
And why technically, I'm sorry, do we need an actual bartender to run a kiosk? Can't we do, is that, I mean, they have, think that's all been automated at this point, has it not?
Probably because of ID, legal
Okay,
ID.
that's the one thing, right? So I've seen them in Vegas. I know they have machines that make drinks in Vegas, like a robot that'll make you a mixed drink, and I think they check your ID, the whole nine, right? I know they had it for. I think they had it on one of the cruise ships that I was on way back. They had a automated bartender that was a robot. So maybe because you're on the cruise ship and everyone can drink pretty much. Is that the deal on cruise ships? Is there no age limit? I don't even know.
In cruise ships, they give you a band that you got to wear the whole time that
Right, that's
says
what
you're
it
over
was.
21.
That's right.
Someone
Okay.
asked, is there closed captioning throughout the whole movie? No. Just occasionally when they're talking the Navi native language.
Okay, so it's all English except if they're trying to evade like other people hearing what they're saying as far as the people that are attacking them.
Yeah, and I think I've seen so many movies recently. I think that there was a transition where, like he said, I got so good at understanding Navi, it almost sounded like English, and then they immediately switched into English. Like you
Oh,
know how they
okay.
do that
Okay.
transition
Yes. Yep. Yep. They did that with
with Jake.
okay. They did that with Tom Cruise in the beginning of the movie he did about killing Hitler. What was that called? Valkyrie.
Yeah, that was
He
a
was
good
sitting in the
movie too.
tent writing, and then he started speaking, and it came to where he was at current day. That I love when they do that. Is that what you're talking about? That's cool.
It was like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that stuff. And you said the 3 hours to you, it didn't feel like a 3 hour movie, and so no intermission. It doesn't need one. What the chat was saying,
There
maybe
was
they
no
needed the
intermission,
intermission.
but I asked
Okay.
my kid, he's a sophomore in college. I asked him because I was worried about the 3.5 hours. That's the most common concern that I see people voicing about this movie. I asked him, I said, did
Three
you
hours
think
and
it
two
was,
minutes, right?
I
3 hours
think
and two
it's
minutes, not three
3
and a
hours
half.
and 20 minutes, but whatever.
Oh,
I asked him, did it ever seem slow to you? Or like, did it seem too long? He's like, yeah, there were a couple scenes where it was slow and it was just all about the environment or the ocean. But, for
yeah,
me,
a little
that was
preachy.
enthralling. Like I was just like feeling like I was right there. It was magical to me.
Okay,
But
so it was
he,
putting you in this scene. You're saying you
for
felt like,
me, yes.
yeah.
For him, he
Okay,
said that was a slow moment.
okay, I can
But
see
the
that.
the action and the storyline for the, it was pretty engaging the entire time. But yeah, there were some montage moments or whatever where he was, James Cameron showing off. He's
Right,
showing off the ocean and the life and
the
the
visuals, right?
environment. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's all about the
I
visuals.
embraced all of it. I loved it.
Yeah, that and
I,
that's
I, I
and
was
that's
leaning forward in my seat, at
that's
times.
the reason. That's the reason that the theaters exist in the first place, right? It's a place where we can go to escape reality for 3 hours,
You're not going to
or
get that
however
on your
long.
little home TV screen. That type
No,
of
no
immersion.
experience. Nope. Nope. And I'm glad I read every article I've read from people that have seen it now. Obviously, these people haven't seen it on streaming, but people are like, you can't not go see this in like an IMAX or, go see it on a digital screen and, use the 3D. Even people who normally like that I was listening to today who saw it in 3D were like, yeah, it really didn't bother me in 3D. Honestly, it was a kind of a nice touch. I'm like, all right, so there's like no way you can go wrong with this movie. The one thing I heard was the frame rate, the refresh of the frame rate on one of the theaters. I can't remember which one it is now. Maybe one of the digital IMAX ones, but they were talking about the refresh rate and how it seemed like the timing was off a little bit certain times it seemed. Somebody talking shit in here that I take care of, or what's going on?
Grandpa Barney said you were leaning forward because you couldn't see. Grandpa Barney, okay. real story. I did not wear my contacts. I'm nearsighted, so I already can't see far away. Grandpa knows I'm old. But it was a massive IMAX screen. And I was in the last row, Grandpa.
Oh, really? You in the
So
last row?
I was in the very last row. You know what the benefit of the last row is? The
What?
walkway in the last row is huge. And we were right in the middle on the last row. So if we needed to get up to go to the bathroom or go get
Plenty
something,
of leg
which,
room. Plenty of leg room.
which I did not get up, but my kid, he ordered the chicken nuggets and they said, okay, it'll be ready in 9 minutes. So we went and got our seat because we got there kind of late and we didn't want to miss the start of the movie, which we didn't. We still got to see the preview for Raiders of the Lost Ark and
probably 40 minutes of
couple of
previews.
others.
Yeah.
We got to see 2 previews. By the way, Raiders of the Lost Ark
Mhm.
looks very exciting. I'm a big fan of that franchise.
I hope they take care of it.
And I forget what the other one was, but you know, lately every preview that I've seen has me. I'm pretty critical on previews. All the new movies that are coming out in 2023 look fantastic to me.
Yes. Yes. These are both supposed to be released at least I know Napoleon is supposed to be they're almost finished with principal photography. So that will be late in 2023. Dune 2 already wrapped principal photography, so that's going to be out by November something. And I've seen just some shots from on the set for that, like big battle pieces. Dude, Dune was a visually stunning movie. I can't even put it into words how that looked on screen. It was very the cinematography on that movie was out of this world. There's a lot of things about that movie that I thought were so amazing about the big screen. I wish it hadn't gone to streaming the same day because I think the box office would have done better had it not. There's a little minority of like Dune people out there, but I was hoping it was going to see better numbers than it did. I'm hoping more people are going to go to the theater now, and with that 45-day release this November, it'll bring in the numbers we should have seen the first time around, right? I hope. It seems like a lot of people got invested into it after the first one came out. A lot of people who have written articles about it have seen it on streaming and said, I still thoroughly enjoyed it, even though I didn't see it on the big screen. But
On
now
Avatar?
we have that. Yeah, on Dune. On Dune.
Oh, Dune.
I
have not seen Dune yet. Can you believe that?
I can't believe you haven't seen that. That's so crazy. It's like Lawrence of Arabia in 2059. It's really cool.
It just came up on our streaming a couple days ago. We were looking for something to watch, and I said, I know that I will like that movie. I don't know if you will like it, and it's pretty long, so I'm probably gonna have to watch it by myself.
Yes, you probably will.
But they got the green light for part 2, right?
Oh yeah. They already wrapped principal photography. Yeah,
right.
So they're about to go back.
That one I will
editing.
go see in the theater. I need to watch the first one. I want to read Owning the Floats comment. He says, and I know you'll agree, Massalorian. Grandpa Barney is a beautiful soul. Grandpa Barney is his spirit animal, owning the float. Grandpa Barney, I hope you're getting a big smile right now. Grandpa Barney once hugged a dead person and his love brought them back.
Why are people roasting Grandpa right now? I don't understand.
He's giving him a compliment. Grandpa Barney is a beautiful soul.
Yes, he is.
And I know, because he's in my Discord, that he is a huge AMC supporter.
Yeah. And supporters of both channels, right? So all the AMC channels out there. I mean,
I see him everywhere. He just he loves this company. He loves the movies.
Yep.
And he keeps people's power on in the dead of night when ice and storms take your power out. And that right there is a beautiful soul.
That's an honorable job. You must get a good feeling at the end of the day coming home and being like, all right, whatever I did today was helping keep a community in the light, as we say, right? Out of the dark.
I've told him on live streams before, like when we have an ice storm here and people are bitching, oh, my power's been out for 2 days.
You have no idea, motherfucker.
You have no idea the work that these people are doing 24/7 to get you back up and running. Why don't you just,
shut up and wait.
Check your white privilege and put another log on the fire. It's not Grandpa Barney's fault that you didn't stock up on firewood.
Yeah. Yep. There are people right now, and did you see they're trying to pass a federal law in Germany for people cutting down trees in the forest to heat their houses? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. No one's talking about it over here, and they won't, right? I mean, it's not like Munich is burning firewood, right? The whole city, but there's certain fringe areas outside of the big cities that are burning. They're trying to stop them from burning trees in their own backyards and saying it's a climate change issue. Like, I'm like, get off my property before I break you. I'll tree here if I want. I can't. God, man. Yeah, Grandpa, man, appreciate you. Big time. Yeah, he's a big supporter, and you gotta love the. I mean, he gives back to this community.
Grandpa Barney says he's working right now. Son of a bitch.
Are you really?
You guys having winter? Are you guys having winter weather up there, Grandpa?
Yeah. How is the weather up there right now? It's been cold here the last couple of days actually, but we haven't had any snowstorms. Snowstorms have been through the Midwest, right? Everything I've seen has been like middle of the country. No,
he's up in the Northwest, I think.
Yeah, he's like
Grandpa. What?
Oregon, right?
Is it Oregon, Washington, somewhere up there? Grandpa says, "I love you all, guys. Love what we're fighting for." Right? You know, one of the best things, whatever happens with this play, is the friends that we have met along the way, and you know, whatever play or plays that we're in, I hope that what I said in the Discord the other day is that our goal is to help everybody survive a bear market, help everybody through smart decision making and creating a risk balanced portfolio, not putting all your money in one play or not putting all of your money in the trade of the day. Create a portfolio that sees you through to surviving however long this takes. And if we get a squeeze on one or two stocks, whether it takes a year or a week, because there's many tickers that people on my channel are playing, the goal is to work together, share knowledge, share eyes on different tickers, and help each other out. And I love that about this community that we've built. So, Grandpa, we love you. Yuka Frita, we love you. Mike, we love you.
All you guys.
And I'm honored. I'm honored to be able to be here for you guys and create a forum where we can have those talks and help everybody be successful and help everybody sort through the clickbait and the chaff and the pump and dump shit that's out there. We'll play those plays, guys, but we're not going to listen to the nonsense price targets on the new ticker CUSIP.
Sit piss? What is that? Sit piss from Twitter. I'm like, they really had an organization at Twitter called Sit Piss? Jesus Christ. Come on, guys.
Grandpa's in Seattle. Boy. He says, Seattle. Holy shit.
That's right. Yeah. Washington.
Anything man-made burns out. He says anything man-made wears out, burns down, and breaks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a tough spot to be in right now, too.
Read Owning the Floats. I'm going to let you read this one, Massalorian. Owning the Float.
I should be right at the bottom right now. I should be right on it. I just saw him, right? He just put up a comment. Oh, whoa, I'm way behind. Sorry, guys. Wow, I'm way behind. Way behind. No, Tony, that's a lie. You were leaning forward because you couldn't see. Okay. Oh, I'm way behind. All right, I'm catching up right now.
All right, I'll read it. This is how beautiful a soul this gentleman is. Grandpa Barney bought Owning the Float's wife's whole Amazon list after they had their baby last Wednesday. They met up. They met up for breakfast in Tacoma, Washington.
Where are you reading that? Oh,
in my chat. It probably hasn't showed. You're probably too far behind.
Yes. It says Mike and Grandpa get a room already. Yuka Frida said that.
I have.
I got it.
One of my friends, my friend that's a pilot, he lives somewhere up there in Washington. What is the fucking city? It's something Bay. Something Bay. I can't think of it. It's a very
It's on the coast.
It's a very picturesque town up in Washington, and he's always telling me to come up there. He's a guy that I went to high school with. He was the dude that we met in Nashville and hung out with for 2 or 3 days. What the hell? Not Newport Bay. Oh my gosh! I'll
Elliott
think
Bay.
of it. I'll think of it in a few minutes.
Let's see.
Anyways, Scarlett fell in love with this couple. She's like, wow, they're the nicest couple. It's like a dude I played soccer with and went to high school with, and we're still friends today. Gig Harbor. Yes, cancel bubble. That's it. Sorry, it wasn't Bay. Gig Harbor. Grandpa Barney and Mike, are you guys near Gig Harbor? Because I don't know the geography. I've not been to those two states, Washington or Oregon, and we want to go up there and visit my friend in Gig Harbor. If you guys are up that way, we'll definitely break some bread and shoot back a couple shots.
Let me put this up right here. I'm actually I'm pretty familiar with this area, all Bellingham area, all that northwest area of Seattle, right? Because it's right outside of Vancouver. Like Pantheon knows all this whole area. I'm not sure where Gig Harbor is into correlation to Seattle and Bellingham and stuff, though. That looks nice, though. Gig Harbor. It's really looks like something out of Maine. Really.
Pelosi's there's lots of libs in that area. This guy is not a liberal. Look at those pictures. This guy's not a liberal. He's about as hardcore right as you can get. It's funny to hear him talk. No, my friend from high school. When if we start talking if we start talking politics, he just goes on and on because he can't talk his talk up in Gig Harbor.
Right? Yeah, you get crucified.
Yeah.
I used to say that when people had finally given up on life, that's where they end up is Seattle and Washington. But Grandpa Barney taught me that is just not true, and there's beautiful people all over the place. Right? Oregon in the house. Disney buys AMC. He's a Northwesterner. He's a fellow sheriff. So, yeah, T, going back to what you were saying earlier. So, there's a couple things that I realized and that have kind of stuck with me throughout this whole time, right? That we've been doing this YouTube thing, was that we came on for a certain reason, and we have been able to have a small little influence on a very small, not niche per se, but a very small percentage of the market, right? We're just a small piece of a larger piece of a bigger thing, right? And we've been able to try to navigate, like you said, and we've missed some things and we've been wrong on some things, but at the end of the experience, we're going to have some excellent traders who will learn from this experience and will become, the next generation of good traders. As long as we can get the playing field level. I mean, let's all be honest. I mean, unless we're going to keep playing this game where we're just going to put artificial runs into things,
I'm going to disagree with you.
Whatever else is doing it. Go.
I'm going to disagree with you there. I'm all for fixing the system and rooting out the corruption, but you know how many years that is going to take? It's going to take it's going to take a failure of the entire system like 2008. And maybe that's coming. Maybe that's coming.
It could be.
But in the meantime, what I always tell
be inevitable.
What I tell my folks in the Discord is learn to play with the system we have, right? I was making that point. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We can fight the system.
We can play that game.
We can thrive in the existing system if you understand the rules.
No question about it.
And get in early, get the fuck out. Don't think that every play is a GameStop. That's what I see people.
Right.
You're falling on the sword thinking that GTII is the next GameStop. Cosmos is the next GameStop. No, they're fucking not.
No fucking way. You're not going to see that kind of kind of movement again like that. Talking about those kind of candles are crazy like that. Not in a
I-
little
I-
OTC shit stock like this.
That
the
is
same thing. We're not talking about.
That is clickbait, pump and dump fantasy, and
Correct.
the people pumping that shit, I don't trust any of them, and I follow all of them on Twitter, but they're pulling at your heartstrings, telling you everything's the next GameStop. GameStop had a very unique set of circumstances. Loaded options
Correct.
chain.
They were the perfect storm at the perfect time.
Massively high short interest. Everybody had tons of money to buy
Cost to borrow.
stocks. And
Yep.
Ryan Cohen came on board as the catalyst. It was a very unique situation. You got to detach from this fantasy that every play is the next GameStop and just enjoy taking the profits. Little bit of profit on every play adds up if you do it every week. Stop trying to be greedy. And I hear Teddy Zane. Teddy Zane, you know, as crazy as he is, he knows that I love him, and he doesn't like AMC, and I do, and we're cool with that. I like that he tells people stop being greedy, like just get in the play for the momentum and get out. Everybody hangs on too long because you're listening to people that are filling your head full of cotton candy.
Nonsense.
There is plenty of money to be made if you're reasonable. And people hate me because I give them reasonable price targets, but you know, we do just fine with reasonable price targets. Do we miss a few? Yeah. But am I bag holding a bunch? Hell no. So I don't know.
Right.
I want to see you guys win every day, win every week, not bag hold shit.
Yeah, nobody's, unless you sold, guys, you're not bag holding on AMC right now. So let's just, I don't know even why that talk's flying around. Unless you're out, then you're not bag AMC, unless you sold. I know 72 to 5 can seem like bad for the money. I get it, bro. I decided to hold through that number to where we are now. And that's just where we are now, and there ain't nothing I can do about it at this point. And I think the stock's well worth $5 right now, if not more. What?
There were a lot of people giving unreasonable price targets for AMC back in that day, which created people not being willing to sell. Right? As I was,
those guys.
I had my shares and I had my options, and I'm selling my options in June as I'm watching these two YouTubers buy options. And I'm talking to the wall like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Yes.
You don't have your camera on yet, right?
$150 call, $150 call. I'll do it. And I'm like, what are you doing? You were loaded up on $12, $20 calls. Why are you buying $150 calls? You're just, I don't know what. That's why I finally, I got
January
so
23
pissed.
or 2022?
No, June 2021, when I was watching the two YouTubers that were covering AMC. I was screaming at my monitor like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
The calls that were $150 that were strikes for January of 2022 were pushing.
No, I'm talking about like on May 29th, May 30th, June 1st, they were buying, as it was running to 72, they were still buying calls. Like, no.
Calls.
Do not.
Right. Yeah.
Stop. Yeah. Just stop.
You're getting ahead of yourself. Yes. Yeah. You're getting ahead of yourself. Way ahead of yourself. I know. You know what I feel? I feel at this point right now, look, AMC is going to make its money and it's not going anywhere. Okay. And we're either going to be at a change right now in the dynamics of what's going on in Hollywood. They're either going to get it together and figure it out or they're not. And if they, and the good thing is, we somewhat of an idea of what's coming the next 2 years to supplement AMC to keep them, still running and operating and hopefully get back to profitability again. And then at that point, we're going to see a completely different price for the stock. And I mean, at the end of everything here, I would like to see us get back to a market that's based off fundamentals, technical analysis, supply and demand, buying. No more shenanigans, no more nonsense, no more not transparency. Let's just get it back to a fair market again. It's like I feel like they're getting fed crumbs so the hedge funds can make billions. And like, listen, if we let a couple stocks run, who gives a shit? Because Tuesday we just made $6 billion in the minute before the market opened when we got that CPI data. Who get? Let's give them $10 today on let Cosmos run. Let it run like crazy. So just let them have a bunch of fun. Half of them will bag hold and hold it back down to 20 cents. Some of them will sell and make money, and they'll think everything's fine and dandy in the market. Like, oh, see, everything's cool. We can.
You know what's going to happen with like.
If you believe that was.
You know what's going to happen is we're going to have 2 years of people in MMTLP and GTII and COSM. They're going to be complaining for 2 years, just like we are in AMC. Oh, it was crime. The shorts never covered. We got to get past that. Every play is not that. Maybe some of them are. MMTLP had some funny shit going on with it. But if you guys can let go of that, look, you're already in 1 or maybe 2 if you're in AMC and GameStop. Concentrate on the other ones that you're playing. Just concentrate on the other plays. Forget about that whole, you want to wreck the hedge funds and screw the hedgies and 300 million shorts in GTII. Fuck all that shit. Just make some profit on 60 cents to $8 and get out. If you can do that once a week, in a year from now, you're going to be a hero. You don't need to beat the shorts on every ticker.
No, absolutely not. That's not. We're not going to come into this situation every day either, right? I mean, there's going to be days when you can scalp a play and make money, no doubt about it.
Just listen to
right?
And listen to reasonable channels. I mean, yeah. Kevin Free from it all doesn't like AMC, but he's got a reasonable head on his shoulders. Teddy Zane's doesn't love AMC, but he's got a reasonable head on his shoulders. Same with my channel. Like, we're not trying to beat the shorts on every play. We're trying to make money. If you guys can detach from this fucking clickbait,
yeah,
you can survive the next 12, 24 months.
Yep.
Just knock
I think
it.
So.
Knock,
I think most
knock it to first base every week. You'll be fine a year from now. Trust me.
So are we officially saying that the run is done? That did. It sounded like you
on what?
Copying off Lou. So are we officially saying that the run's over? We're going to come back.
We're wrapping up. We're wrapping up in 2 weeks to
this week,
2 months or no. Wait, are we saying the run is done on what? AMC or GTII?
AMC, the run is not done, right? We're right now complete
some
real numbers.
AMC is a work.
I'm not really concerned about that.
AMC is a work in progress because you got to see how the 2023 movie cycle plays out. You have to see how the co-branded credit card thing plays out. No, the 2023 movie cycle. All right, let's just I'm just wiping the slate clean. Let's say there's no catalyst, right? Because I don't talk about that shit.
That's a clean swipe.
I don't talk about that stuff on this channel. If I wake up on Monday and there's a catalyst, hallelujah, baby Jesus.
Be it.
So be it.
Yep.
Right? That's always a potential.
Yep.
Just like no one woke up this morning and thought Cosmos was going to run from 23 cents to $23. There's always a baby Jesus moment. And maybe one comes. But if that happens, it happens. Meanwhile, we got the 2023 movie cycle. We've got co-branded credit cards. What that is going to bring in revenue, I don't know. But that's something to look forward to. And the retail popcorn sales, that's something. Look, anything extra is better than zero. All these people want to say, "Oh, that's bullshit. That's nothing." Guys, anything better than 0 is a win, right? Do you think that co-branded credit cards is going to bring in 0 to AMC? Do you think that retail popcorn is going to bring in negative something? All of these, all these
So it's not
hater
gonna-
channels want to talk shit on that stuff. Fuck them. Fuck you guys with your hate talk. You just love GameStop.
Whoa.
Fuck you. Sorry. Am I crossing the line
Oh,
here?
my goodness. I was like Kanye.
They're just mad. They're just mad that
Jesus.
this company AMC is exploring other revenue opportunities. That is incremental necessity. It's incremental necessity, and it will help the company.
They were
So
close to bankruptcy.
that's all.
Don't forget, guys. Like 18 months ago, close to bankruptcy. So
Going to a penny.
I mean, they were right. He said it. PVV. It's pretty interesting to see all of a sudden all these. So, what would you suggest, PV? Have sat back today on the phone with each other and be like, "Hey, Tony, let's buy. We'll buy. Just not tell anybody. We'll buy that 14. We'll sell that 22 and get out." No, we just sat by.
I post.
And we
Look, I post every single
guys
one
made
of my
money. Great.
I post every single one of my trades in my Discord. So I don't talk about all of them on YouTube because I don't want to be influencing people. I will talk about them after the fact on YouTube. Whenever I catch up with you guys on the live, I'll tell you what I bought. I try to, but no, I don't front run shit. That is despicable behavior. And if I sell something, I will tell you, even if it hurts your feelings. Every day, you know, I am the most hated YouTuber in the finance channel sector for a reason, because I tell you what you don't want to hear. And some people still, you know, they still call me he's paid off. He's a shill. He's a paid actor. Because what? I tell you the truth.
Fuck.
And you don't like it? Well, you know, time will teach you who is clickbaiting you and who's telling you the truth. I don't know. I don't know what to say. No, we don't front run shit. Everything that I've traded is posted in my Discord.
What time did you post that on your community page last night about the 25-for-1 reverse split? I mean, that was early in the morning, right? Like, you were just getting home from the movies at that point, right?
When I sold Cosmos, I posted it in the Discord, and because I thought, you know, this was a very strange happening, I posted it on Twitter and the community page. I don't usually post trades publicly, like on Twitter and YouTube. Occasionally I do, but this was a very weird. It pissed me off that they dropped that in the middle of the night, so I posted it on Twitter and YouTube community tab.
I mean, that just seems incredibly. That seems like such a backdoor move that, you know.
Apparently, they were forced into.
There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Apparently, NASDAQ insisted. Believe him, don't believe him. A lot of people think, you know, a lot of people don't like Frank. They think he's a paid shill. I don't know. I mean, I've never met the guy in person. Frank Benedetto. I've never met him in person. I can tell you,
had
I've
him on
talked to him
live,
on the
right?
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had him on the live. I've talked to him on the phone. He's been very upfront about stuff. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust Frank. I don't trust Adam Aaron. I don't trust anyone 100%. But I can tell you that, you know, if he's a paid promoter, he's being pretty brutally honest in the communications that I've had with him, or I wouldn't have had him on.
Yep. Right.
And you guys know from
the Al interview that goes on
you guys know from the Al interview that I did that if someone doesn't know their shit, I will pull it out of them in a live interview. Like Al just fell apart when I interviewed him. He fell apart so bad that he asked YouTube to take the video down.
And his image of crap. Whack job. Don't agree to come on the show then, dickhead.
Grandpa Barney, you do live in Gig Harbor, so I could visit my buddy from high school and come see Grandpa Barney.
Yeah, so make sure you saw that.
Just tell me the best month to come there, Grandpa, and we're there. What is the best weather month? I don't want to come there in the winter.
No, mild there, T. Like you would be surprised. Boston, Seattle is extremely mild compared to Boston.
No, he's been sending. I've seen photos of ice and snow. He's working right now. Something's going on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he may be up in the mountains then. I'm not sure. It's like almost mid-trunk palm trees in some of their parks. It's amazing. You'd think it was, because of learning all the skiing and the Olympics, you're so close to
palm trees. Bullshit.
It wouldn't be like that, but yeah.
We can't even grow palm trees in Austin, Texas. I don't believe you.
I swear to God.
We can't grow palm trees. We can't grow palm trees here because we get ice every 7 years. You have a great palm tree going.
Is that what it is that keeps them out?
7 years old, you get an ice storm and it kills it. And then you got a 30-foot stump.
Maybe they were baby pond trees. I don't know. Maybe they were just recently planted. I definitely saw them in Stanley Park. Changed by now. Scavenger.
Scavenger.
One time to talk.
I want to address
Scavengers.
Oh, that tickles. He says ape is killing me. Where is the bottom? That's a good segue to talk about ape and Highcroft for a second. I'm sure we lost a lot of people by now. But I don't know what what is going on with ape. Clearly, I have been wrong about what was going to happen price-wise. That the haters are loving it, and look, if you said ape was going to go down, and I said it was going to hold its value relative to AMC, I have been 100% wrong. Right? There's no debating that. But you also, someone told me in March that I was vaporized, and now he just deleted his whole channel. You don't understand my patience of being right. You don't even get me if you're going to laugh at me right now. There are people laughing at me about Cosmos at 6 a.m. this morning, and then it ran to $23. So don't be too quick to judge somebody's due diligence or somebody's theory. You don't know everything. You know what's today. Ape has been eviscerated by shills and probably paid YouTubers, to tell you that it's going to be diluted when they won't tell you that AMC is diluted the amount. It's all on the same financial statement, all on the same earnings per share. This is a incorrect message that's been pushed out on Ape. Institutions don't need to hold Ape for ETFs like they do AMC, so they probably all sold. And on top of that, shorts don't want Ape to go up because that's Adam Aaron's golden ticket. So Ape is probably being punished at least 3 ways. Over time, could that change? Yes, I still think so. Only time will tell if I'm right or not. Come check back with me like in 6 months or a year. Don't be so judgmental after 3 months. In 3 months, you've been absolutely right. I've been wrong. But common sense says that these two tickers should be operating at parity. And I think there's just a lot of negativity towards Ape, and I wish that Adam Aaron would come out and talk about it. Oh, and on top of that, number 4, shorts love to target tickers which have dilution coming. And they know that there's more dilution coming for Ape, so they're targeting it. I see that on many different tickers. Go to dilutiontracker.com. There's a whole website for shorts to go target companies that announce dilution. And so I don't know what the low price point is on Ape. I stopped buying at $1. I said that a few weeks ago. If it hits 50 cents, I'll buy some more. In between 50 cents and $1, I'm just out. I bought more AMC today. I've bought some AMC calls, hoping that there's an avatar bump like there was in Maverick. We'll see. But I don't know what the low is on Ape because I think it's being targeted. If it hits 50 cents, I'll buy some more. I hope it does not. And rolling that conversation into Highcroft, because there's a lot of what's going on with Highcroft. Why is it being beaten down? Well, you've seen my videos. You know I own Highcroft. You know I own calls for 2025 in Highcroft because Highcroft is a long-term play. No, dumbasses. Highcroft does not long-term play does not mean wait a long time to buy it. Get the fucking cotton out of your ears. Long-term play means buy it as cheap as you can now and be prepared to wait a long time. It's a speculative play because there is a lot that needs to happen in the next 12 to 18 months for Highcroft to get gold and silver out of the ground again. All right, are we on the same page? If you've been smoking all night, you might need to watch this in the morning when you're sober. Highcroft is being beaten down right now. Mudrick is selling every other day. I said I was going to buy more Highcroft at 50 cents, but it's getting beaten down. So I backed off of that for the moment. That's buying Highcroft at 50 cents. I'm not going to catch a falling knife. I don't know where Highcroft is going to bottom. If it's 48 cents, if it's 35 cents, when I see on the chart, because I'm a chart reader, when I see on the chart that it's bottoming out, I will buy some more. There's a reverse split coming with Highcroft. You know that it's below $1. They could get another extension. They got till April. They'll get another 180 days after April, but they're not really going to be generating any meaningful revenue for the next year. So Highcroft is just going to be in the litter box for the next 12 months. Yes, it'll have its little momentum run-ups on news, and we will trade those. You should be prepared to buy Highcroft cheap when they do a core sample announcement and it runs up, sell it, wait 2 weeks and buy it again on the dip. I'm already telling you what's going to happen.
Buy the dip. Hang on to them stocks, honey.
Buy the dip and be prepared to wait for the long term. That doesn't mean you're bearish on Highcroft because you have a different time frame than somebody that's interpreting tweets and decoding NFTs. Like, I don't do that fucking shit. That is clickbait nonsense. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to insult you. You're not an educated investor. We read what the company tells us and we look at black and white text.
Or red. In our case.
And we buy at the lowest possible price, so we're not bag holding plays for 2 years. If you're going to bag hold it, if you're going to hold it, you want to get in cheap, right? You don't want to buy Highcroft at $3 and then hold it for 2 years. You want to get in at 35 cents or 50 cents.
Right.
My average on Highcroft is 68 cents right now. Why? Because I have common sense. Because I knew to wait. Because I read the company's documentation. I've shared all that info with you. I've tried to help you guys. And I hope some of you are listening.
By the way, I just want to say, Scavenger, if you want to come on, let me know, bro. I'll send you you want to come on the chat for a little bit. I mean, it's late right now. I just went to the kitchen. I have so I have a chili going in the crock pot that I've had on for, well, when did I talk to you? I got back in the grocery store like 7, so 6 hours right now that's been simmering. So it's pretty damn good. I just put a little more of so like as a base instead of beef broth or like chicken broth, I use Guinness. It's pretty awesome. So I'm like sitting here. I've been smelling that this whole time we've been sitting here. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to get my hands on that.
Losie's Baloney says Hycroft gap fill at 2041. I think, what's the recent low in the last year for Hycroft? 28 cents, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, somewhere right around there. Yep. Yeah.
It could, this is going to make some of y'all mad. It could test 28 cents.
This market is very volatile right now, guys. Don't forget that.
We're in a shit market right now. That's nothing against Hycroft. It's the market. It's the recession. It's the high interest rates. It's nobody wants to buy money losing companies. And if it drops to 28 cents, I'll fucking buy it. But I want to buy it as cheap as I can because I know I'm going to be holding it for 12 to 18 months and it's still risky. So why do I want to pay $1 or 50 cents? I don't. I want to own it as cheap as I can.
Right. Hycroft, AMC, all of them. Anything I can make money on.
Anything. Yeah. I say that about any play. I'm not picking on anything.
Correct.
Every fucking ticker I say that about. I waited a year to buy Tesla a couple weeks ago.
Right.
For the same reason.
And what are we at right now? 150 a share is down to right now. I mean, they are. No, he's been taking behind the woodshed.
It's lower than that, isn't it?
Is it? I thought I saw it earlier today. It was like hanging around 150. I could be wrong.
Tesla. My mantra is wait for a good entry. Yeah, you're right. 150. My bad.
So are you saying it's not a good idea to put 80% of your portfolio into Tesla? Have 80 or 90%?
Don't put 80% of your portfolio into any play ever.
Yeah. Man, beaten, huh? This was the savior of the liberal world not even 6 months ago. Now he is the outcast. He has become the new Trump, in my opinion. Elon is. They were talking to the guys from Dean for Person of the Year, and they were asking him, what are the criteria that you guys are going by when you're talking about the Person of the Year? And he gave his short list. Have you seen it by any chance?
No.
You want to see it? Hold on.
Grandpa Barney says we don't have palm trees. We have giant firs. Christmas trees.
Maybe I know what a goddamn fir is. No, I saw
August. He says come to Gig Harbor in August and September. All right.
There you go.
I'm gonna schedule that with Scarlett, Grandpa. August is Mike's birthday party. That is a deal.
Andrew's put up a thing saying, I feel like we're going to be waiting until 2025 for a catalyst or for, profitability or anything like that. But I'm not talking that long, Andrew. That is not what I'm talking. In the last, I think 3 videos that I've done uploads, count out the live streams, I think I've said, some of the next 6 to 12 months. I'm definitely not saying 2025. I don't even know if I'll be in this country in 2025. I have no idea. Way before that. Tammy says they're attacking HYMC and APE because it hurts AMC's bottom line. Absolutely, yeah, and they're probably heavily over leveraged and shorted on AMC, right? So
I'm very concerned trying to figure out why Mudrick is selling. Like, are they selling to hurt Hycroft, or are they selling because they know something? Like, that's something we need to talk about. We need to have an open discussion. Like, is there bad news coming from Hycroft? I already know what the bad news.
Yeah.
They need to. Well, no. I've already done the DD. They've got enough cash to last for the next 12, 18 months. I'm not worried about that. But there is a reverse split risk coming at some point in the next year. But why is Mudrick selling Hycroft? I'm very worried about that. It's suspicious to me. If there's $26 billion of gold and silver, why would they sell at 50 cents? It makes no sense to me.
Right. But then the only other answer to that is the dry is running well. The well is running, and damn Guinness. The well is running dry, and they are need to look either to fund more expeditions and more drilling and more excavating and everything else. And retail is going to have to help with that, I think, at some point. Or they're going to be looking for us to.
What I was theorizing, like best case scenario, maybe Mudrick is running short on capital and they need cash.
That's another possibility.
If I could put a positive spin on it, collateral's getting drained down, they might need the cash. Like if I could come up with the best possible answer, why is Mudrick selling? They need cash.
Yep. And just a logical place for them to dump.
I always think best case and worst case, the way I analyze everything. Best case is they're selling because they have to. They're forced. Worst case is they know something. What is the answer? Fuck if I know.
I know.
But we should be thinking about both.
Yeah.
And not being angles. Not being blind and just buying Hycroft hand over fist if it's going to drop to 35 or 28 or 41 cents. Like you might have a chance to pick it up cheaper.
That would be extremely counterintuitive to what we're trying to accomplish, guys. Clark was asking about, I just want to make sure I get this before it goes out of my view. I know I've asked this question before, but I'm curious if there's any new information of whether or not Ape can be delisted. So now that we're below $1, and I just dropped that again. Six Son, thanks for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Six Son.
And is there any? I think we've always said, right? There's some reason why Ape can't be delisted, correct? What is the technical reason?
My current understanding, based on what people shared with me on Twitter, and I looked for the regulations, but finally someone shared it with me on Twitter.
Okay.
And I could not find any preferred shares being delisted, except if, and this correlates with what I was sent with Twitter, except if the parent company was delisted or going bankrupt. So my current understanding is a preferred share won't be delisted unless the parent company shuts down.
Okay. And that's not going to happen. So
that's my current understanding. I have not found the actual regulation, but someone shared something with me. And by looking at other examples of preferred shares that were delisted, in every case that I found, it was because the parent company went bankrupt. So it all kind of makes sense. And that's what I'm going with at the moment.
All right. Thank you, Andrew, for that take that Tony just put up on the screen. I'm just kidding. That came out right after you said it. 24 the Money said, is this true? After you take into account splits for Tesla, 150 equates to 2250 before any splits? That seems...
It was 3x, right? 414 was the high, which was 1250.
Yeah.
So
not 2250.
So you would 3x 150.
That's $500. Not even 450.
450.
Right? Yeah. 2250. That sounded way off to me. Mass, if you leave the country, how are you going to be part of the great uprising? Oh, I'll come back for that, bro. I'm gonna have to come back to fight for a shot. Shot heard around the world. I'm gonna have to sacrifice myself for everyone else.
Clark says if a preferred share cannot be delisted, there's no reason to convert them back to AMC. So let's just walk through what the company has said. The company, Massalorian or anybody in the chat, correct me if what I'm saying is incorrect. The company has said that APE is the currency that they're going to use to pay off the debt, right?
Essentially, yes. Yeah, he's come out and said that.
And how much debt do we have?
5.2 billion.
And are we going to pay that off next quarter?
No.
So why are people saying that APE is going to be converted anytime soon? I hear people making videos saying APE is the currency to pay off the debt and APE will be converted soon. Like, do you understand the dichotomy of what you're saying there? It makes no sense. APE is going to be around for years.
Okay, so wasn't this at the core issue between Boss and Matt in their discussion? Was about this particular thing, correct? This is part of it, right?
I don't know. Ape
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Boss saying that he was using Ape or options to hedge against AMC going down? Correct.
different discussion.
Okay.
AMC and Adam Aaron have said that Ape will be around for a long time. I'll post it on Twitter if you need me to. This is corporate communications. It will be around for a long time. They're going to use it to pay off the debt, however long that takes. You should plan on Ape being around for years, years and years and years. Now, could I be wrong? Could that change? Could they change strategies? Sure. But what they've said is they're going to use Ape to pay off the debt. Look at the price of Ape. It's going to be around for years at the current price. If there's a squeeze and they're able to pop off $4 billion, dollars worth of Ape in a squeeze, yeah, they might be able to convert it sooner. But I think that you should plan on Ape being around for a very, very long time. And I do not understand anybody that is pushing this narrative that they're going to convert it anytime soon. Makes no sense to me.
Do you remember where are we estimate right now from the point of Ape being issued to at this point right now? Do you have any idea what the percentage is? Because if I go pull up the chart right now, obviously I'm looking at the Ape split number, right? So is it halved? Is that what they're doing with this chart? Pretty much, right?
With what?
With AMC. So if I'm looking at the AMC chart right now and I go back to, let me just go year to date. Let me just see. All right. So here's, this is July 2022. So when did Ape get issued? End of September, right?
August 22nd, I think.
August 22nd. Okay. And on that, okay. So the week before, August 16th, we were at $24.81 a share. And now we're at about $6, right? So we've got crushed. Says issued, crushed. There's got it. So here's my thing. If there's no Ape sold into the market, where's all that money go? Where did all of that cash? Where is all that money? Where is the $20 I have the 16th? That's now only $6.
What happened to people? What happened to people that had a house that was worth $1 million and today they can only sell it for $750? Like that's a strange question. The value of equities got decimated because people aren't valuing stocks what they were a year ago because earnings are expected to be lower and interest rates are going up and money's coming out of the market, yada, yada, yada. Like everything, the valuation that people have put on stocks is down. The money didn't go anywhere. Right. The value that people assigned it went away.
That's really what it is, right? Yes. That's really what it is. YouTubers came out and said, I'm selling my Ape, and it just lost all of its mystique, right? Like it took the shine off of it, and we got our ass handed to us.
More than likely, if Ape never would have come out, AMC price still would have dropped because you're in a bear market with rising interest rates and money is fleeing the stock market.
Theater. Yeah, and a poorly performing box office in Q3. One of the worst in 25 years. You can't walk away from that. You can't.
I started saying 13 months ago that when we enter a recessionary market, companies that have negative earnings or high PE ratios, looking at you, Tesla, you're going to get decimated because you are not a flight to safety. I don't care who says that AMC is a flight to safety. That is nonsense. Money losing companies.
No, AMC, it's not a flight to safety.
And high PE ratio tech companies like Tesla are not flights to safety. They're risks because they're overvalued. That's just basic stock common sense.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Was there stupidity behind us not selling at 72 when the stock...
of course, in retrospect, of course.
All right. Okay. I still think it can go higher than that.
There was a stupidity in me not selling everything in November of last year.
I know.
Right?
That's jumping everything.
I'm not picking on AMC at 72. No.
They all
like
suck.
everything has sucked for the last
Got the
year.
ass kicked
If
in. Yeah,
anyone who had 2020 hindsight would have sold their entire portfolio
correct.
in November 15th of 2021.
Kevin, like me,
Like me, Kevin. Yeah.
that
I mean,
face. I'm out. This is
but
nuts.
I don't invest stocks for what's happening 12 months from now. I'm like, everything that I'm buying is for the long term. I've never sold anything in 30 years because of a bear market. And you know what? Everything comes back.
It's cyclical.
If they don't go bankrupt, they come back. Not everything
Right.
came back, right? There were a lot of .com companies that never came back.
Totally, yeah, tanked, and that was it, right? And they went
You
to
got to be
obscurity.
realistic about what you're buying.
Right, right. I'm
And
not
you
that
and you
concerned about the theaters right now
well,
going
you
anywhere.
still everything, even the theaters, you got to pay attention to them every quarter. Are they running out of cash? Are they generating revenue? Right?
Yeah, I mean,
You
it's
always
of course a concern. Yeah,
every single investment you need to analyze with the same microscope. Even if you
you're
love
right.
AMC, you got to have the
You're right.
same you got to have the
Yep.
same analytical skills on it.
Yep. You can have a certain amount of bias, and that's fine, right? Because you own the stock and you're a supporter of AMC and you're a supporter of the theaters and the movies. You can have bias, but you do have to keep it real from time to time. You can't go completely off script with all this hype bullshit. Because a lot of people are getting tired of that. I've noticed it. Sleepy says next year will be the year you'll see zombie companies starting making headlines dropping like. Is reality? Frank says. Buscarello says. Tony Denaro. The reality is AMC's coming in at 475. About a bounce there. I'll go that low, I guess, right? But I think I don't know if it's gonna. Well, who the hell knows? I'm not gonna say anything.
We're on that teeter-totter, Frank. We're on that teeter-totter of market negativity versus Avatar 2 positivity. I cannot tell you today. Maybe I can give you a better idea on Monday, but I cannot tell you on what is it, Friday night? I can't tell you on Friday night which one is going to win, but I have voiced my concern that we got two competing narratives right here. The market wants to go down and the SPY could go to 350 or 320. Nothing is going to survive that. Nothing is going to survive a market crash. Everything's going to go down if that happens. If Binance crashes and crypto crashes and the index crash, look, that's just the market. That's not nobody's picking on AMC. So what? Que sera, sera.
There is some there. I have to say though, there is good news. I don't know if you heard the White House yesterday. There's 55 billion right now being allocated for reparations to the continent of Africa. So
and Joe Biden's had the most successful 2 years first presidency in history, according apparently.
Oh shit! I need the short list for AMC. You're not gonna. I mean, short list for person of the year for Time. Look at this. Hold on. You're gonna love it. All our favorites. A lot of our favorites are there. Here's the short list. I'll put it up on the screen. Ridiculous.
I'll tell you, despite all this bad news, I don't want to all be doom and gloom. I am buying many different stocks. Tesla, Amazon, Meta. I'm even looking at Disney. Massalorian and I were arguing about that earlier. That'll be a discussion for another day. No, that'll be a discussion for another day because we'll spend an hour talking about that. I don't want to talk about that tonight because I haven't done enough. But many of these blue chip companies, I'm drawing my line like where I want to buy them. Because no matter how bad it gets, there's a lot of stuff that I want to buy right now that in 1, 2, 3 years from now is going to go up 50 or 100% with very low risk.
Yep. How much powder can you get your hands on right now to invest to hold on a long-term hold?
Every week, I'm allocating whatever powder I have free that week into my accounts. And if you don't have dry powder, go get a second job because right now, guys, whatever you can fucking invest in that is a solid company, you will thank yourself a couple of years from now. You might hate your life. You might hate your life working 2 or 3 jobs, but in a couple of years, you're going to thank yourself for buying this dip on good companies.
Yes, that will last and
I'm not
stand up.
I'm not saying that
from.
I'm not saying that from some pedestal. I've worked 2 or 3 jobs to get to that point. I've had no life for years to get to that point. But that's how you fucking do it. If you want to be successful, if you want to be free in your later years, you put the work in when you have the energy and you have the time. There's people begging
I mean, I
for
got
employees
a
right now.
a vasectomy to stay here. Yeah. That's world needs plenty of bartenders. So I'm already on picking up a new job. What the short list is. So Elon is the back in payback years. Elon's the only person. From Time Magazine said, well, the lady from MSNBC said, what is the criteria? You know, is it a positive impact, a negative impact? And he goes, well, you know, it's kind of a little of both, right? Overall, I guess, geopolitical impact. So there's Xi in China. Supreme Court was a nominee. This is a short list. The representative of Wyoming got smashed by 30 points to an unheard of person from the middle of nowhere. I have no idea, but she got crushed out of her seat in Wyoming. Ukraine, Mackenzie, I don't know who the hell that is. Mackenzie Scott is the ex-wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, philanthropist. Yeah. The protests in Iran, which could be a psyop, I don't know, definitive thing of Iran. Ron DeSantis, that's interesting. All over that one. The Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, made the short list. Amazing, right? Yellen worked this year to reassure Americans about the economy amid high inflation and gas prices. Gun safety advocates. That's the last one. That's a weird one. But yeah, Janet's on there. Liz Cheney made it. Some interesting ones, right? Some interesting. I mean,
speaking of gun safety,
Massalorian. What's that?
Speaking of gun safety, we like Smith and Wesson between $5 and $9. If you can hold it till the next American crisis, live streams and Discord.
What's the American crisis?
Well,
I mean, crisis we're looking at.
They come in cycles, right? Every 2 to 7 years.
Yes, yeah, fourth turning.
Smith and Wesson is coming down. Smith and Wesson's coming down. If you can pick it up between $5 and $9, cheaper the better, and hold it for however many years till the next crisis, you will 2, 3, 4x your money. Just look at the chart. Just check it out. I'm just throwing out random tips right now.
Put it up right now.
Someone asked, what is a good PE ratio? Do companies with lower PE ratios have smaller swings? So let's just use the classical comparison, right? Like a Tesla compared to Ford or GM. Tesla's PE ratio for trailing 12 months is 46. Ford PE ratio is 37. I bet if I looked at Ford, it's probably about a 7 or 8. Let me pull up Ford. Now, these are very different companies, right? Ford is more traditional. Yeah, Ford's trailing 12 months is a 5. Ford PE ratio is 6. So Tesla's being valued at 7 times Ford, which is a much huger company. Is Tesla worth 7 times Ford with a much smaller production quantity? That is the type of analysis that you need to do. What is a good PE ratio depends on what is it relative to competitors in that industry. There's no hard and fast answer. What is a good PE ratio? You need to compare to competitors within that industry segment. But based on comparison based on comparing Tesla to all the other automotive companies, it is overvalued, and that's why it will tend to drop faster and harder in a recessionary environment or on bad news.
Tell me what last year. Are we going back further? When I say look at the chart, Smith and Wesson, are you just talking this like mid range?
Look at like the last 10
$14,
years.
$16. Okay. Okay. So we've been things been on the way up. Wow. About $21. What's the reason for this sell off right here in the last 6 months or whatever? This particular
because there's no crisis in America.
Right. We need an incident.
Yes.
Gonna get people they're gonna outlaw buying I'm not sure in how many states it is, but I know Rhode Island starts January 1st. No more ammunition without a gun license. I'm like, really? That's I don't think that's what the Second Amendment says. But okay. Whatever you say, Rhode Island. They also just announced that $10 billion for reparations.
You can buy Smith & Wesson right now for $850. The high in 2021 was $38.
Yeah. Yeah.
The recent
I missed
low,
that one.
The recent low in 2019 was $5.19. So that's why I say between $5 and $9. It took a big dip in the past 2 days. Huge.
Yeah, what's that sell off? From what?
There's a lot of states passing gun control laws, but you know, America is America. Smith and Wesson is going to be fine. It's going to be fine, and in the next crisis, you're going to see another run up of this stock. You might have to wait 4, 5, 7 years. You can pick it up for $5, $6, $7, and be patient with that one, and wait for the next run up to $22. Yeah, look, not everything needs to go up 10,000% in one day. You got to have a risk balanced portfolio. Pick some long plays, and do the speculative plays with some smaller percentage of your portfolio. This one will pay off, but I would wait a little bit. I'd wait a little bit longer for it to come down.
You think it's still a little bit of room for it to come down? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everything in the market can still come down a little bit. Yeah.
With the risk of a market sell off in the next 3 months, you could probably pick it up for $6 soon.
I heard a guy on Bloomberg, I think it was yesterday, the day before, he was talking about the possibility that we're already in recession right now, and they're just using a lot of fancy terms out there, and they are working the numbers around to kind of match what they're saying is going on. But in reality, we'll look back in this time and say, oh no, we were well into a recession back in the middle of the end of 2021. We were clearly in the in the throes of recession, and they're doing a great job of masking it. Look, did you see the White House's answer about what was going on with CPI data on Tuesday morning? Like, you can't call that a natural price action and say, oh no, it has no CPI data coming out a minute later, and you see a huge spike in the market. It's like, that was very like you care.
Whatever happened, I don't know. I saw your video on it. I mean, I just thought it was irrationality, like people were being overly exuberant. But you kind of you got me thinking, like, was that unnatural? I don't know. Hang on one second. Steven, do you want us to send you an invite to talk about Avatar 2? Steven just got out of the movie. We can send you an invite if you just want to grab your phone and come on and talk about it for a second while it's fresh.
Yeah, can you give us a breakdown, your first impressions coming out? Just jump on live. New gun laws going into effect in January will cause a buying frenzy to Prometheus. Yeah, that's a possibility too, right? So in that case, you could see a little right on Smith and Wesson. Maybe get back up to, let's look at this again. This range, right? Just back up to a 15, 16. Now you're almost at 2, right? Nobody's talking about dates or any prices, but look at the charts. Bucks
Tammy's
fan,
asking
good
about
evening. Said sorry tonight. It was great. Good, man.
Tammy's asking about
What's that, Tammy?
what cigars. What is a good cigar sampler pack from a reputable site? I'm not a frequent enough web shopper, Tammy, to tell you on cigars. I go like when I go in Specs and we're buying, whatever bottles for the next 30 days. They have a walk-in humidor there, and I'm very loyal to a couple of different brands, but there are plenty of cigar sites. I would, do a 5 minutes of research. You can find out what the top brands are, and all of them have sampler packages. I would be, it's not my area of expertise to tell you what is the best one to pick, but you can get to that. You can drill down to that in about 5 minutes on Google.
Somebody said Tony doesn't believe in the World Economic Forum and CBDC. He doesn't believe in a one world currency.
I think that CBDC is inevitable, but I don't think that it's on the time frame that everybody is saying. Like everybody thinks it's going to be tomorrow or next quarter. I said I will bet money. Anybody wants to bet, I'll take your bet that there will not be a citizen distributed CBDC in 2023. It's just not going to happen as quick as the conspiracy folks are saying that it will happen. Definitely they want it to happen, and I do not want it to happen. It's horrible. But you guys got to understand, I'm coming from a background of I've studied banking and finance. I understand how this whole thing works, and I've listened to the congressional testimony. Now, could they pull an end run and sneak something in against Congress's wishes and all the rural banks and totally fuck
Nah,
the banking system?
never.
Could they do that?
No.
Sure. But I don't think realistically they're going to take a chance screwing up our total financial and banking system by rushing out of CBDC. I just don't see that being a reality. If you
What
want
if
to put
that's the
money
only
on
way
it,
to save it?
if you want to
What if
put
it's the
money on
only
it
way to save it?
as a friendly bet, not anything like this is not what's the word, Mass? I'm not trying to argue with anybody. I just don't. That's in my understanding of how things work.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to rush that out. They will fuck shit up. They will ruin everything about this country. And we are the leading country in terms of currency and banking. Everybody relies on the US dollar. They're not going to fuck it up by rushing out of CBDC. I get it. I understand all the conspiracy shit. I just don't agree with it. That's just my opinion.
Clark agrees with you. We won't get CBDCs until the government has seen it being implemented by other countries. It's already in implementation right now, Sleepy. In China,
I've read
digital one right now.
I've read white
They're
papers.
oil with it.
I've read white papers on CBDC. They say there's no benefit to being first or second in rushing out of CBDC.
No, we should definitely find the Chinese since we're about to fight GDP. And like, I don't know, they're going to catch us in like 3 or 4 years. So why not do everything else? Let's make it a full collapse.
There is pressure to be competitive, right? But there's no pressure to be first. If that makes sense. And no, I do not think they're going to pay you in a squeeze with a CBDC. That is clickbait fucking nonsense.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm sorry. Please get that out of your mind.
I know, but
That's
a
not what
lot
I'm
of
saying.
people are saying that. That's like a common thread
Misnomer
on YouTube.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
My opinion, that is just nonsense. That is because Lou, sorry, I don't say his name often, but he said that bullshit 6 months ago is why I started my whole CBDC playlist. Because that is just fucking, oh, I know people at MIT. This is coming tomorrow. They want to pay you on the squeeze. He's fucking just making shit up to get you to click on his videos. Like, how can you guys not see that?
No, this would be a way for them to launder more money in the next 2 years out of the country and cover it up and not ever have everyone look back at it as a money laundering scheme. This whole 4 years that's gone by. Boy, we've taken $5.5 trillion, printed it, put it into the market, and handed it up to the 1%. So I don't. You can't. Where's all this money? Well, I'm sorry. Where did the 54 billion come from yesterday? That's going to the African countries. Who approved that? Did Congress vote on that? But that's tax money, right? That's coming out of our taxes, right? Who's agreeing to this? I'm sorry. Who'd agreed to this? I didn't sign up for any of this shit.
I want to be very clear, Massalorian, that they want to control your money with a CBDC. This will obliterate freedom in America. I am not for a CBDC. You guys need to pay very close attention to what they're trying to do. I'm just saying the timeline that you're being told is not correct.
Too tight. I got you.
Right? Can we at least agree on that? Like I'm with you. They want control of your everything, and you should push fucking back against that. But the timeline of people telling you it's coming tomorrow or next quarter, I do not agree with that.
What happens if the dollar collapses? Let's say it drops 30%, the dollar. The US dollar drops down to and now we're 50 cents behind the pound.
Why would that happen? Why would that happen in this economy? In this global economy, why would the dollar drop 20, 30%? Because China's taking control? China's fucked right now.
These guys have all signed different trade agreements with themselves for oil. Saudi Arabia just signed, Nigeria just signed, with China, Russia, all three countries just signed. So they don't need our oil anymore. So now we are stuck with NATO and Germany and England, and that's it. Those are our trade partners, and that's going to be it right now. And we're going to pour our stuff into there. That's why we blew up the pipeline. That's why we started the war, was so we get natural gas and control and the liquid natural gas that's getting sent to Europe right now. That's why we're sending more of it. That's why they're begging the Saudis more oil, because we're shipping it to Europe right now. Why are we begging the Saudis for oil independent 4 years ago? Where did all the oil go? Why would they purposely shut down pipelines and blow up our own goddamn and blow up pipelines when they're bitching about climate change all day? I mean, I'm getting all over the place right now. I'm tired. Very tired.
I'm right there with you, man. This whole like shutting down the energy production in this country is I'm not on board. I'm not on board with anything that is going on right now in this country.
Oh, how could you possibly be? We are poorer than we ever have been, right now.
Because Massalorian, by next year we're going to be 100% solar independent.
Right.
That was a joke. Right. That was a joke, you guys.
No, I know. Remember, China has to make all the solar panels. Don't forget.
But meanwhile, I'm gonna fly first class to Europe to pick up my award on a private jet.
And release 10,000 metric tons of CO2.
I'm so worried about the environment. I'm so worried about the environment. I can't fly coach and get there 6 hours later.
They're very important meetings.
It's an important
John
award.
Kerry says it. Yeah, these meetings are important. He's got to be able to get there and relax. Right, Bucks. XX Wolverine says, Tony, I'm not going to lie. You alive are better when mass is around.
It's just because it's nighttime and I'm a little more casual. Drinking. Like, look, in the daytime, I'm trying to make fucking money.
He's just liquored up right now. That's all.
I'm getting bombarded in the daytime with 1,000 questions while I'm trying to actually make money, and it's very distracting. Right now, we can just hang out.
That's. By the way, I meant to ask you, how is your new setup working? Is it? Do you feel like you're on top of you're getting all the info, like pretty much?
Having 1, 2, 3, 4 screens is much better than having 1, 2.
It is. Like,
it lets me have a lot more eyeballs on what's going on. When my kid came over to go to the movie last night, he's like, "Wow, you got 4 screens now." I was like, "Yeah, this has been it's been really
nice.
It's been a big change to have. I can have 1 ticker that I'm day trading right here, and I can have 4 up here that I'm watching that are day trade potential, and I can have over here the ones that are the YouTube people want to know about. And then down here, I've got all my YouTube management, the live stream. So it's a great change.
So you're using your bottom left screen as far as your live, like, so that's actually what's going on your live is on the bottom left, and you're watching other charts up here that aren't being displayed that you have eyes on. Is that how it goes?
I mean, I can punch a button and switch to any of them.
Okay. With your Stream Deck?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Oh, that's cool.
And the camera
I haven't seen it like operate.
The camera is right here. I posted a photo. Maybe I made it like members only, but
I saw the photo. I saw the photo. I just haven't seen you like actually. I haven't been able to see you. Just listen to you in the lives. I haven't been able to see you actually working.
I got so mad that I was missing plays. Bro, I got like 10 tabs.
Don't even.
And one monitor to watch them on. Like that was costing me money. missing shit happening, and now I can have it all on these screens. So
we sat around playing Dirty Dorito today while COSM went from $10 to $23. Don't talk about missing out on money right now. I'm about to puke. we should have chopped the nuts off that thing at 2:30. Damn it. But like, oh no, it's coming back, right? It's gotta come back. There's just no way. There's just no way. Do we go on live? No, we can't. That's coming back.
Sleepy says, did you guys see the other day Biden approved $36 billion bailout to pension funds? I did not see that.
I did not see that. No. I saw $55 billion for reparations to African countries.
How would we miss an item like that?
Was that California teachers' pensions specifically, or just, let me see if I can find it.
Dark Latin, what's up, amigo? Dark Latin says he's going to see Avatar this weekend twice, IMAX and Dolby, and a Korean movie called Night Owl. I want to go see, what's that, Violent Christmas? Is that what it's called?
Oh, I haven't seen that. Is it a horror movie?
It's like an evil Santa. Like, the evil grandpa, dirty grandpa. It's like...
Oh, like bad Santa, you mean?
Yeah, it's like that. So we want to go see that. And I want to go see Avatar again. So I guess that's our next 2 nights. My knee is still not healed up enough to go out for the normal weekend activities.
Jesus, really? Still, your knee's bugging you?
Yeah.
Christ, that sucks.
I'm at about 90% mobility on my knee.
Wow.
Jordan says, is it true? Jordan says, is it true that AMC can be forcibly liquidated by debtors? And at what stock price, if so? Jordan, I don't know if I know the perfect answer to that. I as long as AMC has the appropriate liquidity requirements for the bonds that they've sold, I don't know that they can be forcibly liquidated by debtors. But at a certain point, if the cash gets drawn down too much, that they would be in violation of the debt covenants. We're a long way away from that.
So just so you know, I'm gonna pull this up real quick. But I found about this yesterday. So I want to see exactly what the qualifications are, and I'm gonna do like a little document. I want to see how this thing plays out. This article from what's this from? The Grio province launches $10 million reparations program open to all races. The $10 million home ownership and programs and workforce training is paid for by federal COVID-19 recovery funds and must be used true. More lighting and all kinds of things. Let's see what the application process is supposed to be from the federal government. This is COVID money left over that they have to give out and dole out to the people. according on Truth, Reconciliation, and Reparations Committee. Yeah, and it's based on race neutrality. I hope I can get in there and get some of this money back that I didn't. I never agreed to dish out during the $5.5 trillion printing spree went on. It sucked the life
Dark
out of the
Latin
country.
says Violent Nights is a great movie, funny as fuck. A lot better than expected. It looked really funny to us. I was watching the preview with Scarlett on my iPad. She's like, I want to go see that.
You're gonna go back and see. You said Avatar again Sunday, right? You're not
I
gonna see a
want
different
to
movie,
see
right?
her again this weekend, but first I want to take my wife to go see Violent Nights, if that's the name of it, the Santa movie. So that will probably be first. Well,
It was like
I'll
comedy.
give her the choice. I'll give her the choice. She can pick Avatar or Violent Nights. Doesn't matter to me. I want to see both.
Was it Phil for real who was telling us that his friend worked on the horror movie recently with the clown that was a killer and it was like over grotesque? That was Phil for real, right?
Phil's relative, maybe brother, worked on a recent. It was like a historical war movie, I think.
About the pilots?
Not Devotion, but another one. Not Devotion.
Oh. Okay. I didn't know that.
I forget the name of it.
American historical?
It was like a Confederate type, if I recall correctly. Maybe someone in the chat knows.
I would know about. I was thinking I would ever. If there was something come up on the big screen for Civil War, I would have heard about it.
Steven says Avatar he thinks will bring in 170 million opening weekend. Let's just hope that keeps up.
I'm hoping for 2 million, honestly. I'm going to be a little greedy. I really want 2. I would love to see 2.
If it can beat,
I really would.
If it can beat Top Gun Maverick, I'll be ecstatic.
And that's 160, right? That number? That was the best this year, best weekend we had? 160?
I have it.
Yeah.
I
think you said earlier.
I think that's what I said. I got to pull it up again because I've had a couple shots.
You could say that Massive was Yucko the Clown friend show.
Yucko the Clown. I love Yucko the Clown.
That was it.
I was just pulling him
driest humor.
I was pulling him up on YouTube. I was like, whatever happened to Yucko the Clown?
Oh,
he went.
Oh, man. Dirty outfit. Fucking mess. How could you go out in public like that? Oh, God, Tony. That's like chalk. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Oh, God. Breath just stinking like alcohol.
160 million. 160 million. You're right. Domestic gross first weekend. We lost Massalorian. Where'd he go? Phil's brother was in the Will Smith movie. What was the name of the movie, though? Marine guy said the AMC has been halted 35 times since January. I don't get into this whole halt conspiracy stuff. Like, I mean, halts are hard coded into the markets.
Based on percentage point rises and falls, right?
Yeah. If you go up a certain percentage, you get a halt. If you go down, you get a halt. I do not waste my time decoding halts. Every fucking ticker has them. Everybody's looking for a red herring.
Emancipation's a movie.
Emancipation. Thank you.
Yep.
It depends on the percentage move and the time frame. That's it. It's very simple.
I think that's portraying a Northern soldier. I think Will Smith, I could be wrong, but it looked like it was a blue uniform that he had on the movie, but I could be wrong. I doubt he was fighting for the South and running north. Well, he could have been. He could have been pressed into service. All right, T. Listen, I need to sleep. I'm so wiped, man.
Time for some chili.
Like crazy all day today. Yeah, I'm so hungry. It smells so good right now. It's been sitting there for 6 hours, and I'm running up on 6 hours right now, so it's totally edible.
I did a very light eating schedule today. I had 2 eggs, 2 bacon for breakfast, and I had a salad for dinner.
Okay.
When we went to AMC last night and I took a picture with my son, I was like, God damn, my face is looking fat.
Is it really? You think so? I don't think you look any different.
I'm like 30 pounds overweight.
Are you really 30 pounds right now? Get the hell out of here! Really? Oh, I would have never thought that. But
From my from a couple years ago when I was in my prime working out every day, every other day, this knee injury is killing me.
Too bacon.
I'm not fat.
Two eggs, 2 bacon.
I'm not fat. I'm just not lean. Let's put it that way.
Okay. You're not shredded, right?
My ideal body weight is like 13% body fat, and I'm well above that, probably somewhere in the 20s right now.
Okay. Someone said about the halts. Would you agree that halts ruin the whole momentum? Sure, Richard, but that's what they're supposed to do, right? That's what it's for. They're supposed to people to calm down, relax, reassess what's going on for the market, the stock or the ticker to kind of find itself for a second. It's to try to put everything on pause. I mean, that's what the whole point of the halt is. It's so the stock doesn't go out of control.
Or you could say the point of the halts is to allow the market makers to readjust the price to the bid and the ask, right? So the market makers will get absolutely bankrupted if they don't do the halts.
Correct.
Because they're having to fulfill every order. Look, if everyone's wanting to buy,
there's no way.
And the market makers having to sell, they will fucking go bankrupt in an hour.
Yep. Look what happened to FTX.
The halt allows them to analyze the incoming bid and ask and adjust the bid or ask up or down depending on what the momentum is. So really the halt is to not bankrupt market makers, but the net effect is it affects our psychology because people don't know what to expect.
And they start to sell.
I understand what you guys think it is, but the reality of it is market makers will go bankrupt in a runaway situation because they're having to make the market. And if everybody's selling, guess what? They're having to buy all the way down and they will fucking go bankrupt. And if everybody's buying, they will have to sell shit they don't own. And again, they will go bankrupt. That's the background market mechanics, but people interpret it the way they want to see it.
Look, we're seeing a lot more halts because we're on a much more volatile market right now. We're talking about OTC and penny stocks and stocks that go on, this crazy run like today. So this isn't something that is happening market wide, right? It's not widely. This is happening on a couple stocks that we're focused in on. Like on a minuscule, we're looking all the way down to, one. So you're going to pick all of those halts. And especially when a stock is running like nuts and you got FOMO that's pushing 60-cent stock to $23 like today. It's going to happen.
I go crazy just like you guys do in halts. Like everybody is psychologically affected in a halt and you don't know what's coming next. I'm not minimizing halts. They fucking suck.
No, it's not a minimization. It's just a fact that, that's what they're for. They're as a safety measure, a security measure to not let things spiral where they can't get their hands back around it again, right? Like they did with inflation.
I look at it as a very conspiratorial, like it is in place not to bankrupt the market makers. It's a self-protection for the market.
Yeah.
Right? Don't you want to know the real dirty? They're protecting themselves. It's not to protect you.
No, I know.
And if it halts and it gaps up, that's because the market maker adjusted the price up so that they can make the trade and not lose money. Right. You still benefit, but if it halts down, that's because everybody was selling. They didn't manipulate it. It was going down and the market maker didn't want to be buying and then fucking have their ass ripped off because it dropped 5 points in 1 minute.
Yep. Right. Yeah. Very simple. Cash Flow says Mullen was suspended this morning once the news dropped. Tony, you think halts suck when you're long? When you're long, imagine when you're short. LMA says
Yeah,
just another ape.
it is psychologically devastating for both sides because you don't know what's going to happen next.
There's so much unknowns at that point. You have no idea which way the stock's going to go, the rest of the market. There's 9 million different indicators you have to take into consideration when you're trying to figure out and speculate where's it headed after this next, when it gets, back to be able to be traded again. You just don't know. All right. I gotta make a stand and say, all right, I'm going to eat right now, and that's it. I'm just
How long have we been going here? What time is it? We started at 9. It's 9.
We're running up on 4 hours.
4 hours. You can't hang out 10 minutes to make it a solid 4 hours.
Oh my God! What are we perfectionists here? Jesus Christ! When do we turn into perfectionists and nail a 4-hour live stream?
Just leave your
Almighty,
screen
I'm
up.
starving.
Leave your fucking screen up. I'll hold it down 10 more minutes.
Over here. I'm hungry.
Go
man.
get some food. I'll hold it down for 10 more minutes.
I'll stay for 10 minutes, of course. No. I'm not trying to rush. I'm just really hungry. I'll go get some chili and come back in. If you guys don't mind, I hate eating on camera.
Look, I've had like 700 calories for the entire day. Don't give me that bullshit.
You guys, it's been a little while since we've been on a live together, so that's why I'm.
Yeah, and we haven't seen you. You've been like on Gilligan's Island for the last month. Where the fuck you been?
Yeah,
I just
if I can't add if. No, I'm working. I mean, last time I think I talked to you was when I was doing the window job last Friday, right? I called you and I was listening to Boston Coors on the replay, right? Yeah, I did that window job. Now I did actually another one that weekend, and that I've had those accounts for like 20 years now. They're my 2 biggest accounts, so I do those right before Christmas usually, and that kind of like tries to set me up for the holidays. So I had that money from working that whole weekend. And I was able to use it to pay for rent and all the bills that I need to catch up to. So it just let me catch my breath for a couple of days here. And look, if I can't come in and add something positive to the conversation, or I'm in a funk myself and I can't come out here and appear to be on the up and up with everyone, then I'd rather not. There's no financial incentive for me to come on and bullshit you people. Like, there's just not. I respect everyone on this channel way too much to come out and put out nonsense on my channel. I won't do it. I'd rather just say nothing at all.
You're saying you're not trying to do 3 videos a day?
I refuse.
19 videos a day?
I refuse. I mean, I would love to do that if people really wanted to watch them, but no one's gonna click on every fucking video. I mean, they're not. I mean, I still can't believe the Lou thing. It's kind of crazy. Has he gone on live tonight anywhere? I wonder.
I saw in the chat that they were saying he went live while we were live. He probably wanted to explain the whole COSM ticker symbol thing.
But I came on because I love everyone here. That's it.
I want to know if that's a true story. Did they really, Lou and Elk and those, did they really think that CUSIP was a ticker symbol? Tell me the truth. You guys like pulling our leg, or did someone say that? Can I find that on a video somewhere?
Did Teddy not put that in his thumbnail description this morning?
I'm not talking about Teddy. I'm talking about Lou and Elk.
There's no ill talking about Teddy here. We will not do that. That's where I saw it. I didn't see it on Lou's. I saw it on Teddy's this morning. That's what caught my eye. That's what brought me to his channel. It was in my suggestions. I'm like, oh, they changed the ticker symbol this morning? Huh? What did I miss? I'm like, that's why I'm trying to call you.
The way that I read Teddy's title, he said that the company name and the CUSIP were changing, and he was told by people that he trusted that was going to create a short squeeze, and that does not create a short squeeze. Changing the CUSIP happens on every split and reverse split. Changing company names is just like it's an administrative action that has nothing to do with a short squeeze. And look, there's a million splits and reverse splits every year. None of those initiate a short squeeze. A couple of them, the stocks run up after a split or after a reverse split. That's
very natural, though.
It's coincidental,
or it's very organic. It's not, that's not something that's like this, where we see people intentionally going into a buying frenzy to push a stock like this, right? I just didn't see that coming, man. I gotta say, I'm an idiot because I didn't see that coming. I just had no idea.
No
If you
idea.
had said $23 at the end of the closing
Oh.
bell, I would have said, "You're out of your tree, Tony.
Do you know
Get
how
off my
stupid I feel right now?
get off my channel."
I had the chance to buy it at 23 cents. I was like,
Yeah,
looking
we
at
were
my
both awake, looking at it, watching it. We were there at 9:30 when the market opened. It didn't go anywhere. I said I went over to John Wick Sniping's channel. I was watching him being like, "Oh god damn, my cost average $9. 30 fucking did this shit." I'm like, "Oh man, I can't do the negativity thing. Let me go see what KC's doing." So I ran over to KC. Yeah, I mean, it was very apparent what was going on. All of a sudden, when the afternoon came, that sucker took off, and we're like, it's Friday. They're gonna be set on to the weekend. Get the holidays coming up. People are gonna be complete opposite. I'm like, fuck this market. I'm all set. It's this live stream tonight.
Hey, Johnny Clark wants to know if you'll come on a live stream or live chat with me more often. Julie wants you on more live streams. She loves you.
Dude, Tony does fine by himself. He's not need master or anything. I think we work well together, and because we have a little bit different opinion, but
I'm not very friendly when I'm by myself. Like when I'm working during the day, I'm like all work mode, and then I get pissed off that people are asking me, "Is this 5-cent stock really going to $100? What do you think?" I heard on YouTube that the short interest is 2,000%. Is that is it going to squeeze?
yeah.
I really hate busting that shit.
Busting people's balls. Yeah. And when you're on a
It's
live
really
stream all day,
it's really depressing being like the voice of reality because I sound like a dick for 6.5 hours a day.
I know, and you don't want to, right? You're not even trying to. You're just trying to relay information or whatever your opinion is, that you're trying to get across to them, but you don't want to come off like that. But when you're in a 6-hour live stream, you need to have filler. I mean, you can't just sit around with you twiddling your thumbs. People want you talking. They want you interacting. That hurts your trading ability as far as day trading goes. So, there's a lot of give and take with this.
What if I what if I stop every 5 minutes and drop and do 10 push-ups? That could be entertaining, right?
Yeah, might be. You might kill yourself though.
I could put a
week of doing that.
I could put a pull-up bar right here and just do like 10 pull-ups every 30 minutes. I don't know. I need some ideas for entertainment because hang on,
freshen things up.
My right earpiece just fell out.
Oh, your Secret Service.
I don't know if you were listening in, Massalorian. The rabbits almost ended up in the stew pot because they ate my speaker cables.
Oh, I would have thrown them right in. Right in, coats and all. Right in.
The one cable that they could still reach on my standing desk was the speaker cable.
You kidding? They chewed it?
$300 set of speakers for my computer.
Boy.
Down the drain.
How does your significant other feel about that?
Well, I took it out a different way. Which payment is always going to be made one way or another.
Did you make boots out of it? What'd you do with them? Where are they? On your feet?
We're not going to go into that. This is a family-friendly channel.
Slippers?
I'm not talking about the rabbit. She said don't touch the rabbits.
You mean the wife? Even better. I was talking about the rabbits, damn it, not your wife. Chief C says, Mass, would you be surprised if Monday is more volatile than Friday for COSM? No. That happened to Clove that week. Clove jumped up from like 20 cents to I went from like $12 or $13. The next day it went from like 13 to 28. So no, that wouldn't shock me at all. If retail gets excited again and piles in, it's going to go up. It could be more volatile just because based off what happened today. You could get more players involved, more YouTubers on live. Who the fuck knows? Definitely could be a bigger run. But you guys know us. We're not going to call any dates or times or anything. But absolutely, yeah, of course that could happen. Sure.
Hey, Johnny Dark Latin wants to know if you're excited to go see Cocaine Bear in February.
That's about the giant bear that died from a cocaine overdose, like on a movie set or something?
He didn't die. He apparently goes like crazy.
Yeah, I've heard the story. Is it a true story? I thought this is a true story, right?
I thought it was a joke when I saw it on Twitter, and then I actually
I don't think so.
Preview. I found a
yeah,
preview.
It's real. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I stopped doing coke a long time ago.
It sounds like the campiest, funniest movie ever. Like you want to go take,
but
you want to take
with
some gummies. You want to take some gummies before you go watch that movie.
I still can't believe this shit. This is the biggest waste of money ever. If this is really gone in 4 hours, I think I want my money back. I'm going back to tomorrow. I'm like, this is bullshit.
If what's gone in
You can't
4
smoke
hours?
this whole thing in this whole cap is gone in 4 hours.
Oh,
This is
that
half a thing. Stupid little like weed juice. I'm like, what?
What is that? I've never seen one of those before.
This is just like a vape pen, and in the top is so it's like a honey consistency, and then when you light up for the vape, it burns off. It has like a certain amount of THC in it and CBD.
Okay.
Yeah, and you just like take a whack off it, right? Like you would for a joint, but it's just you don't have all the smoke and the smell, and you're not crushing your lungs to death. Turn down the battery; it's burning too hot. So I feel money. Yeah, it's true as the dog ate my homework, says Eric Rojas. Do you think the hedge funds are taking out? Oh, Clark.
R. Baglio says, "Can you?" R. Baglio, I'm assuming you're talking about Cosmos. He asked, "Can you sell and then be refused, then sell again for a crazy profit?" Are we talking about COSM? I mean, yeah, your sell order could be refused depending on what you had set for the if you had a limit price. I've also seen sell orders be refused if there was no liquidity.
Yeah, if they have no choice, right?
It's less common,
but it could happen. Yeah. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate that, man. Clark, I've seen a lot.
Richard, thank you for the shout out.
By the way, speaking of which, Diaz and Prometheus, man, thank you guys for modding tonight. Prometheus, tell Pam hi for me. I don't know. She wants to ignore me, so whatever. You can play that game.
Clark says it might be cheaper just to smoke a joint.
Seriously, Clark, I might just switch over to flower.
Yeah. You don't have a connection up there, Mass?
I mean, literally, there's a weed store like 5 minutes down the street from my house. It's completely legal. I mean, and meet somebody. Yeah, to go and meet somebody and pay, and go. I mean, the only reason I would do that is to save on the tax and the ATM withdrawal fee. That's it. Otherwise, I'll just go right to the dispensary, right? And I know exactly what I'm getting my hands on. When I walked in today, they had a booth there. It was a guy set up, and he had a little pen on him. And they're going to start making money, man. These weed companies are going to start making some bank. They got to be making bank.
When is Sundial going to go up, though? That's what we want to know.
I don't know. I've been looking to see if there's any Sundial products. I haven't seen a ton of Sundial products anywhere. I've seen a lot of Tilray. I've seen Tilray. I've seen, what's the other one that's almost like Carvana? Not Aurora.
ACB, Aurora Cannabis.
That's
Tilray,
it. That's
Sundial.
So I haven't seen much Sundial, at least here in Massachusetts or Rhode Island. I haven't seen much Sundial anywhere, really. I know they have a facility out in Western Mass, I believe. But I've seen almost everything I've seen has been Canadian, mostly everything. A few things from local, but no Sundial. I haven't seen any Sundial. I've been looking. Yeah, I've been looking. I
need to do a fresh deep dive into Sundial. It's been 6 months
since you last looked into the numbers.
Yeah. All right, you made it till 1 o'clock. Go eat.
Thanks. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you for hanging out.
No, man, love you. Thanks. Thanks for coming on.
We're not going to talk bad about you tomorrow.
All right, don't. Yeah, let me catch my breath tomorrow. Go see Avatar, and then we'll reconvene Sunday night before the market opens and figure out what's going on. Right?
Sounds good.
Sounds good, man. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Whether you're watching live right now, if you hung out with us the whole time, just joined in, or you're watching on replay, you are the real OGs for hanging till the very end.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you, guys.
We love you guys. Thank you for your support. And
have a great night.
Let's make some money.
Go see Avatar.
And buy some straight to the bottom line popcorn.
Tons of it. Dump it over your head if you have to get another one. All right, guys. Have a good night. Love y'all.
Get a beer or a mixed drink if you can find the bar and there's a bartender.
Find a bartender. It's not funny. All right, let's go. We're out of here. Have a good night, guys. Love y'all.
I just snorted on the camera.
You did.
Good night.
It's all right. I'll head out. Night, guys.